Now, what's up, Obi? How's everyone doing? We are now short the market. I mean, I don't know. I'm just sitting here ready to explode. Thank you, Adara, for that throw over right there. That's nice. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm over here. Right now, Sharif just running around getting ready to bring you these symbols of the day. But look at what we've just been doing. Boom, 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 boom. Short, short, short. Now we're finally getting that fall down in the market. Oh, boy. We have a lot to talk about. What an interesting midday it was exactly. This started off not a great day, ending to be quite nice here as we stay with the short. We're short the market right now, and as Fabian very patiently yet impatiently wants me to throw it over to Sharif. So let's go over to the screen and get started on our afternoon show.
Let's do this.
Yeah, there it is. Welcome to the afternoon rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every day. As you saw, Obi's there, Sean's there. They're locked and loaded. They're ready to take the tickers as decided by you. So get into the chat midday with Adair and I. Get some learning on, and also get your vote on. Get into the chat, exclamation point, join, $, and the ticker of your choice. There you go. The big kahuna's talking about the SPY. We're up, we're down, we're below 19.1 right now, or we were on the NQ September contract. The SPY barely green, up 0.17 last time I looked. Trying to recover a little bit here. We'll see if the bounce can continue, but it really has been more about the chips today. We got the news from Foxconn that they blew earnings out of the water. Revenue was up, profitability was up. Reason that's important for Nvidia is because they make the GB200, the Blackwell flagship chip that we're looking to be released later this year, early 2025. Off the highs though, guys, Nvidia still up 0.5%.
Yeah, man, Nvidia, you were chopping that up in the morning.
Nvidia, we love Nvidia. Yeah, we were chopping. We're getting chopped up for a minute there. As well. Welcome everybody back to the show. As we this has been like, it's funny because you're gonna look down and it's like, this is one of those days where when we were on vacation we talked about that last week, and it's like you're gonna look down and think that, oh, you know what, like the market hasn't been doing that much, you're down 0.19 here, it looks all good and there's not much happening and yada yada yada, and then you sort of think to yourself, wait a second, we've had such a huge move and able to capture kind of both ways. And I think like enemy number one or whatever, I guess not much of an enemy of ours today, Nvidia started the day as, wherever the sticky note is, going to be one of my number one trade ideas for the long. And yeah, that worked for a minute and then not really after that for too much. Huge fall down, man. We broke that 117 and there it comes down in for Nvidia. The only thing is, when we look back at our sticky note, and I said that every single day, we're learning more and more things. What did Elon Musk tweet here? What? All right, that's cute. Some AI dancing here,
right.
Like that. Oh yeah.
Haters will say this.
Someone AI me like that. They look a lot skinnier right there. That's pretty funny though. All right,
they've got some moves.
They got some moves.
That
Grok AI has some pretty cool things. There's no doubt about that. All right, again, just real quick here and we'll move on. But there's Nvidia. We talked about 115. Back to the well here. I'm long until something changes. Well, something changed real early, and I don't even know what it was. There was no news specifically on Nvidia today that we could really find out. There was the Huawei stuff from yesterday. But there's the drop down, and then there's basically 115. We wind up holding that level. It did get into 114 where we were buying. We were able to make a little bit back, and then we even shorted back there as well. But look what remains true. We still get back into pre-market highs or area high. And that was a great short. So for right now, we'll see what happens here. I like the short of Nvidia, but it's got to break this 116 area. So 116 is that wick bottom. I'd look at a 116.25 break lower on Nvidia. Instead, we choose to pick on the market. Oh boy, I see Palantir coming up. Yep. Okay. So we'll talk about that when that comes. All right. Any interesting things there for you on Nvidia?
I mean, yeah, no, Nvidia had opportunities off of the open, but yeah, a lot of people in the chat saying it as well. Market's kind of flat on a CPI day, and flat Nvidia definitely is trading within its opening range. You can see here, again, going up to 15-minute chart. Look at that 15-minute range, Sean. Absolutely wild. All the way from 118 halves all the way down to 114 and some change, 114 quarters there, day low being 114.08. And we're trading. We went back through VWAP. We attempted to push through the opening price right there, but we're trading pretty much sideways on top of VWAP. So Nvidia just hanging around. doing nothing, sideways. But seems like you had the right idea on some of those trades.
Yeah, I don't want to get too carried away with having too many right ideas today. But let's go back over to the desk and talk about our next one that we were right on for a minute, and then we switched it over. It's Tesla, and it was a good one.
Before we get to Tesla, I want to shout Obi on the specs, man. Those are nice new specs there, Obi. I like them. Yeah, nobody said anything about that. But yeah, Tesla NHTSA today closing out the investigation on the Tesla front suspension issue. This was basically covering the Model S and the Model X between 2015 and 2017. Nothing really doing there, but it was supposed to be a good catalyst. But you look at that percentage, down 3 3/4, guys.
All righty then. Anything on Tesla quickly?
Just downtrend off of the morning, right? We saw pre-market low break, pre-market trend attempted to push prior day's high. We saw what happened with Tesla yesterday, very strong closing near the highs. And yeah, potentially people looking for that continuation coming off of the open today, but it does the exact opposite and reverts pretty much the whole move there. I was going on my walk. I got an alert for Tesla 200, and I had left when it was around 203, 202s, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess we're trading all the way back down in again. 199s, 198.76 is low day right now, but the volume's been kind of falling off here. So I haven't really had any trades on this this ticker here today, but almost a full-on reversion of prior day's action there.
All right, thank you, Obi. Oh man, this day is getting good, and it started bad. We talked about that. Here's Tesla falling down. Look, let me just talk about what we liked about it. We liked Tesla here. We talked about the long. We liked the long because we had broken through this 203 area, right? And we started the day up here. So I pulled back, and again, on the sticky note today, we had written down about that trade. So, you know, we find that there, but then it comes in and breaks. So this is what we wind up doing. Let's talk about it now real time. I mean, as we were trading in real time, you have to go rewind and find out what we were doing. But here's the drop back into 203, 204. So we were buying, right? Buying in here, getting out basically for flat, slight little winners. Then all of a sudden it came back out, and that's where we dropped it out right there. That little wick right there breaking back down through 203. So we wind up getting out. So that's about 50 cents worth of a hit on the maximum, but we already got some out. So we were fine with Tesla. Everything was cruising. We're good, right? Full self-drive. Then all of a sudden it comes into that 202 area, and this is where, honestly, I mean, that should be a car. I mean, there's no point in having cannabis symbol there. Anyways, do not smoke and drive, that's for sure. But there goes Tesla right there, 202. Nice upside move. So that was $1.50 before it came in, and then there's our out again. So there's the break on the last little bit. So there's still a little bit of a problem. Then we tried to go long one more time at 202. That worked until it didn't. Then we finally turned our frown upside down and went short. And to me, that's the props trade right there, being able to go and reverse into that short rate here. So once we finally got that going, that was a good one, man. That short right there is 202.20. That out right there is 200 flat. That's $2. So, you know, that sort of turned everything on its head there. And now when I sort of zoom back in and out of Tesla now, could have retraded it there. We weren't here at lunch. We go for that walk. We actually talked about that. We came back and shorted the market. Wait till you see my Amazon trade. But right there, that was a good one off VWAP again. So Tesla, still the same story, Obi. Weak names, retrace back to VWAP. If you still like them, it's probably go spot. So that would have been a good example there for Tesla to go for it. We didn't, but I like Tesla shorting into VWAP. So that means 202. We get back up to that level, we'll be short Tesla, but we will get stopped out of our market trade, which we'll talk about that in a couple minutes, but we're still good on that one. All right, back over to the desk for my favorite stock, Palantir.
I bet it is. Good day for it today. 1 1/5 right now, Sean. They had this headline yesterday. Surf Air Mobility intends to form a new venture, Surf Air Technologies, which is a core platform of their Surf OS. They want to use Palantir's AI. No surprise there. It's a good look for Palantir because we saw about 70% of their contracts are government contracts, about 30% commercial, really expanding that. But yeah, coming off the highs, 1 and 1.5.
Palantir.
Hold on, just hearing something about Apple right now that they're trying to move ahead with some sort of a new robot something. I don't know. We'll wait. Apple moves. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Okay, it's right on the Benzinga platform here. So I was going to trade it, but I wasn't sure about this news. It's a good thing I didn't. Apple moves ahead with tabletop. Got to come to the screen. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Fabian. Apple moves ahead with tabletop robot push. So right there. Apple moves ahead with tabletop robot push led by ex-car chief. Apple shares not doing anything. So I feel like anytime we get a new product for Apple or anybody that comes out, I immediately go to, what's iRobot? IBRT, right? No, IRBT. Does that make more sense? IRBT? Yes, iRobot, we got it right. Sometimes some of these corporations will be the ones that are falling down, right? Like Amazon gets into, more medicine and all that kind of stuff. Teladoc to the downside. There goes iRobot, nice little bump up there. So we could watch out for this name as Apple getting into the tabletop robot business. Huh? Yeah, it's right there, Sharif. Yeah, it's a new story. So we'll find out about it in a couple seconds. All right, not doing anything though, Apple. Looks like it did want to go back upside, then downside right now. So market not doing much, but there's the story for Apple getting into its tabletop robots. Interesting. All right, we had Palantir at $31. Now the thing is that as I look back over, we have now made, so without Palantir, we're green today. So honestly, for me, man, that is really quite amazing because we were dead to rights here. And I actually talked about this with Patrick. We hit pretty much our not our full default, but our biggest position that we'd want to take there in Palantir, not the most that we can. And we lost on that 30 cents. So that's big. Like even if you take 1,000 shares, 30 cents, still $300. Sucks to be down that much, let alone whatever position you guys want to take. It basically went top to bottom and looked like and felt like the worst trade. And it was. Then it fell back in again. We did dance with it a little bit at 50. That was probably lost about 10% more right there. Then it came in, and that's where we finally found levels, right? When this came in there, we were watching the futures, obviously a little bit of a different volume situation down here at 10:30. Came in, and I said, I still like the stock. Let's go with it. We sat there and we bought Palantir down here. Unfortunately, we had such a bad taste in our mouth, we didn't use nearly as many shares as we had when we broke that. So did we make some back? Yes, we did. Look at that move all the way to the back end there. Palantir goes all the way up to 31.30. Like if we just hold that half a day, it's fine. But so many times you hold that and it's down here. So I don't want to second guess our strategy, but today on Palantir, unfortunately, as humbling as it is, where's my hat? We lost on it. And that's the thing. I feel like maybe you were doing this last week, but I feel like it's very important. And I know Adara says this as well. It's like, and Sharif today as well, when he didn't realize that, thanks, man, that Apple position. Look, sometimes you're going to put on trades and you're going to celebrate them when they're right. But the more important thing is to understand that when you're wrong, you make sure that it's understood kind of the same ways. Yep. And that was a break trade that I had written down. It was a sticky note idea that we had. I liked that break, thought the market wanted to go. We took it, we lost on it. And it's basically, we traded probably 9 stocks today. It'll be red, but everything else is getting close to covering that. So that's the whole idea is although you can make bad trades, you sometimes want to stick in the pocket. I know we're going to talk about that with you in Starbucks and things like that. Yeah. But to me, that's the most important. And we can love Palantir all we want, but today we did not have the right trade. So we made it back at the end, but not enough. So that's my little story there about Palantir.
Yeah, definitely. I will be talking about some horrible trading a little bit after this. I am definitely disappointed at myself, to say the least. But yeah, Palantir, a little bit of an inside day. Again, last week, Sean, you missed out on that 30 break, that initial break through 30. Yeah, I know, Neil. That was a huge level, and that level is still kind of holding. We did do a gap fill up until 31.40s, I think. 31.40s was that area that I had marked off. If you do look back on the chart, and a little bit of a gap here between that 30 and some change and 31.40s, we're pretty much creeping closer and closer day by day. We did get to a high of 31.19 on Monday, and then we attempt to push that high today. Again, still making relatively higher highs and higher lows off of that consolidation break that we saw off earnings, just the break above that 28.30 on Palantir. So it does seem like this ticker is pushing higher, but in terms of an intraday push, it is definitely choppy and sideways most of these days, and not really as directional on intraday. But bigger picture, we're still making higher highs and higher lows. That's what I'm seeing.
The SPY up next, guys. We got CPI this morning, obviously beating expectations by a smidge. 2.9% inflation for July. The market was looking for 3. The month-over-month number, comes in line 0.2. And as you can see, the SPY really not taking it poorly, not taking it well. Up 0.5%, almost flat, guys.
It's both ways. I mean, I'll take this. Why don't you look at the SPY? I'll just talk about the TQs because we're in that trade. So let me just break that down a little bit here. As you can see, if you come over to the screen, the SPY is actually up today 0.8, 0.18, while the NASDAQ is the complete opposite. Just put a minus sign in front of that right now. So one's up, one's down. I'll talk about the laggard right now, which is why we are short. Today, short only. And I don't know, we don't have the big short, of course. And nor do we have this right there. I wish we were here. Maybe I should stop going for breaks during lunch. I mean, it seems like we're getting a lot of moves at that time.
During the midday, yeah.
I don't know, right in the midday. Yeah. That's why it was a few days ago, or not a few days, maybe a few weeks ago, I said to Adara, it's like, don't ever tell yourself, especially if you're a newer trader, don't ever tell yourself, I don't trade that well during the midday. Yeah. Like, there's so much opportunity during every part of the day. You just have to figure out what style of trading. Because here's the biggest move. This is the biggest move of the day. Like, sure, this is fine. This is, as a percentage, this is bigger. But this drop is, if you're short, like if you're short, this is a bit better money-making opportunity than this. This just gives you different reload opportunities. This one, if you're short, you just blink and you don't even have to do what I'm doing here, scalping out. This just goes for you. Like what happened here, bang. So anyways, find the right time to trade and just trade the right style and you'll be fine. But anyways, there's the trade. So what I was thinking about doing now in the TQQs is whenever I get scared like that off the open, we don't really expect it. I almost think that this is the way the market wants to go. That's the retracement. And now we're kind of hovering around VWAP, around the 200 and around 50. So I'm trying to go short right here against the 200. And you can see we only got stopped at once on the short. Other than that, man, big time. And here we're starting to come back in right now again. So I like this downside push now for the futures. Under VWAP, let's see if this is going to get a little bit of blood in the streets. I know Dan Emmons is in the chat there. I know Kyle's in there. And I know there's a lot of traders that are thinking a little bit short. And I just don't know. I mean, I'm looking at the daily chart here for the Qs and things like that. And honestly, I mean, we had a huge move up, right? This is the triple Qs, so it's not going to be exactly. And then this pullback into the 200, I feel like we just got like a really huge relief rally over the last couple days. I think that sizzles out a little bit. I mean, are people going to get nervous heading into Nvidia earnings or not? That's 2 Wednesdays from now. It's not next Wednesday, the next Wednesday. You're 2 weeks away from Nvidia. If that stock somehow guides lower, some kind of a problem in that report, you're going to see this market come tumbling back down. So I just wonder, will there be traders today that will wake up and be like, not wake up, I mean, just come back to their desk this afternoon and be like, you know what, down 0.17, we were up 2.4% yesterday. Maybe there could be some profit-taking areas here as we wait for Alibaba to report tomorrow. We wait for Walmart to report tomorrow, right? What if Walmart does not give a good report? You know, we already know some of these tech names continue to bleed down a little bit. What about Walmart? What about Starbucks losing some gas today, which we'll get to? What about Google today being down 3 or 4%? You know, that's just one name. What if Apple starts going down 3 or 4%? You know, then you're starting to lose some of these names. So for me, I want to be short and remain short the NASDAQ until at least we take that 200 period, which is basically the high of the afternoon. So let's sit in this trade. I'm bidding 63.12s here, try to make 50 cents. Then we'll wait for a little bit lower. But that's what I'm trying to do here on the triple Qs.
Yeah, no, Spider, I definitely agree with you on that one where, like, yeah, you can have playbook trades or even trades set up for you during the midday, and you have to be kind of watching for that to kind of happen. And yeah, I definitely missed out on this one. On the whole market, look at this beautiful reversion there, Sean. Once you break out of VWAP, you attempt to break out of VWAP, you pull back in, you hold some levels, and then you start this trend to the upside. And take a look at what happens when you break that trend. 545, failure to follow through, can't even get there. Volume increasing. Yeah, it came in real hot, but it gave you like 6 minutes here to get in on a little bit of a lower high and pull back into that VWAP there as well. But yeah, you had to be there for that one. That one comes in a lot more aggressively and much faster than the sell-off that happened in the morning session there. Again, you can see right here, on the NASDAQ. Strong selling, dips into 18.9s, and then rips all the way from 18.9s, 18.920s being the lows, all the way to a 19.2 test. And then off of the 19.2, we have a strong sell-off. Look at these 15-minute bars. These bars kind of much larger range on these 15-minute sell-off bars than any of the bars that we've had, any of the red bars really that we've had since the open. Maybe this one right here, some strong selling at 10.10. But yeah, no, you can see that reversion came in aggressive and strong, and now we're holding above VWAP there. So definitely an opportunity there during the midday. I did not have that one, but it was definitely there.
AMD subject to some bearish puts here by whales in the options market. Interesting look here, about 39% of this unusual options activity taking a bit of a bullish look, but sadly 50% taking a bearish stance. No real catalyst today on AMD, obviously, possibly in sympathy with Nvidia today with the Foxconn news, but nothing specific to it, guys.
All right.
Yeah, you know what? I don't really have too much to say about AMD. I mean, it's been something that I haven't really looked at. Oh, good. Dara hooking people up. Yeah, thank you
for hooking me up with the Starbucks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She was trading S-Bucks today.
Yeah, I was trading S-Bucks as well today. We can definitely talk about it while I sip on their products.
Sip on their product for a minute there. And then...
while I was a product of the price action this morning.
You were a product of that price action. We're always products of something around here. That was a good one, though. Yeah, product of their price action. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Product of my own stupidity is to put it better, but, you know, is what it is.
All right, so for AMD, it's not a name that I ever look at recently because of the way that Nvidia's been trading. Not only is Nvidia $20 less than AMD, I feel like it moves a little smoother, and then when it gets going, I call it meme mode. Nvidia can just get going and just prints. But for right now, again, I like the short here. You're underneath VWAP right now. You've only spent basically this 1 hour in the midday. We talked about that huge spike that was in the NASDAQ during midday. I have no idea why that came up about, but AMD didn't really spike back. AMD just came right into this level again of 141, then fell back. So for me, you either wait for that short now, or if you want to get a little frisky and maybe you're bored, which I don't ever think you should do, bored trading, but why not go short right now?
You meant bored frisky. Same thing?
Bored frisky? What does that mean?
I don't know. Oh, that's what I thought you meant.
But you thought I said something that nobody even knows what that means.
I don't know.
No, but unless you're bored trading, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
But to me, I feel like you want to wait for this 140 area. So that to me would be a short right now. And the reason why I keep going back and forth here between Nvidia and AMD is Nvidia's up today. So if you want to go long, I'd choose Nvidia if that sets up properly. If you want to go short, I would go with AMD. So that's just a tale of two of those. I'm going to look a lot more at Nvidia moving forward. So I don't know if you have a take there on AMD at all.
Yeah, no. So AMD just trading kind of sideways below its VWAP. I did have it a little bit on watch after what it's done over the past couple of days there. Again, sitting at home watching this price action and actually being here to watch it on the tape. Two distinctly different experiences, and yeah, no, I was looking at this consolidation from yesterday, breakout off of in the pre-market, and then take a look at that. Can't even hold some of those highs. 144s can't even make it off of the open. Straight flush to the downside. Low day 137.64s. It's consolidating sideways in and around VWAP, man. So we take a look at the 15-minute right there within, well, back now. Now we're back kind of within the first 15-minute range. We did attempt to print a little bit lower there. Found some support off of this 137.60s. Prior days, oh boy, okay. Prior days opening range low, can't even get there, and that's where we catch a little bit of a dip. Interesting stuff. Had to be there probably to see that one, but trading sideways at the lows right now is AMD. Again, looking kind of similar to that of the sideways action happening on the NASDAQ and some of these chips here. So, you know, that's what I got on AMD. Nothing too crazy there. But, oh boy, Starbucks, we're going to have this conversation.
Distinctly different.
Distinctly different, so.
Today. Yeah, you weren't here yesterday, so Starbucks, of course, has that changeover of the CEO there.
The price action was crazy. I mean, I shut down on it during the midday, squeezed out a little bit. didn't have a proper effective stop on it. But take a look at that. If you take a look at some of the action that came in on Starbucks, aggressive. So you hold the 92, you re-break the 92. I was getting short in around here because I'm like, all right, well, prior days anchored VWAP, we're trading below that, and I don't get out on the break of these 80s, and we are off to the races, 94s incoming. So I was like, yeah, oh boy, definitely have to get out of that one, shut down on that one. Too aggressive on the idea, but you know what it is? Like, it's mismanagement of a position. You were talking about this earlier today, right? Managing the position relative to the risk that you've been given, that is something I definitely failed at today. I kind of fought the long off of the open. The short was definitely a great idea for a reversion back into 92, that key area that shows up multiple times yesterday off of the open, midday little dip, dips into 92 and then pushes back up. And yeah, take a look at that, kind of pushes right back in. So I do have my chart that I traded here. I did take a screenshot of it real quick so I can pull it in and take a look at this degeneracy right here. So getting short in and around those 92 halves and then giving it all the way to a push towards 94 as it squeezes on me. So I'm like, yeah, that is not the best. I am not trading the best as of right now, and not making the right decisions, right? We talked about making the right decisions. So how can I have done this better? So let's see. Okay, cool. We make a mistake. We messed it up. We shut down on it. But how do we do this better for the next time so that you don't make that kind of mistake? So what did I do wrong? First of all, spending too much risk on the long side on the way down. 92 is the level. 94, sure, I like 94. But when it doesn't break or do anything at 94s off of the open, why am I buying, even if it's a little bit, all the way from 94s, 95s right, into 93s and then trying again at 92s? 92s is the level. Doesn't really work out. Flip to the short side because I'm like, all right, well, we've made a lower low below 92. Maybe we pop back into this area and then push back in because that's the anchored. I don't get out at the 92.50s, 92.60s. So that is the mistake here, not getting out in this area right here, and then actually being aggressive with it and holding on to the bag all the way into 94. So that is something I should not be doing. That is not trading. That is gambling. As the price action is clearly telling you, we've reclaimed the 92. We've reclaimed the anchored VWAP from yesterday, which is slightly important because yesterday being a catalyst, being a day of strong relative volume, you can see that over 20 times, 25 times the relative volume all day yesterday. I want to know where that average flow is sitting at. And again, we were trading below that. So I think the short is not too bad if we're trading below that. But once we do get above and break through this consolidation high, 92.80s, you gotta pack your bags, you gotta leave and look at that volume that comes in. Definitely, I'm not the only one sitting short at this, as this action was very squeezy and we're holding higher highs here off those 92s, 94s pushing almost back through open here, 95s and some change, 94.40s trading right now on Starbucks. So we'll see what's the next trade. I'll be taking some reps for the rest of the day. Good. But yeah, I gotta clean that ish up, man.
I was going to say that we had talked about it earlier, and we said we're shorting 97s and going long 92s. Yep. So the 92 should have been a big trade there for the long. I stayed away from it as well. I'm just hearing from the World Health Organization that apparently Mpox is now an issue. Is Mpox?
Yeah.
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 So Moderna right now getting a spike. So yeah, just hearing now that there's something happening again. So
that's yeah. The what's the actual monkeypox?
Monkeypox.
It's also the same. It's also the same. Very similar to what's that one?
That's why SIGA right now, SIGA. Yeah, look it up. Well, monkeypox. I don't know what the.
No, there's another. I'm trying to remember. I
still banged my tailbone a couple weeks ago. It's still bothering me. It's crazy how long that takes. Anyways, Mpox.
It's in the same family. It's very similar.
Back in that building
zoonotic.
now again. I believe SIGA is an Mpox play. So there it goes to the upside. We will double check all of that, and please do it yourself. But there goes the move right there, starting at 1 o'clock. So it's a move up on SIGA. I believe we can. I can look up SIGA here just to make sure here. Let's call up our trade ideas. Let it load. SIGA. Just double check. Yeah, technology is okay. So this is probably what that is. commercial stage pharmaceutical company. There it goes. So Ebola, TPOXX. Oh, okay, so
Ebola, that's the one. It's the same family as Ebola.
okay, so there you go. So that would make sense. So there's SIGA right now breaking through the highs. So everybody on alert. Shout out to all these SIGA traders there right now here today, because you seem to be onto something with that trade and that name. So, this is another thing that we could do lessons of the day on, or things like that. And that is just basically trying to find names, like a Moderna, that as soon as you hear something about something, you go over to the right names. And we're never going to get them all the time, but I did see everybody on the chat being like, SIGA's running. And now, you sort of just by looking into it, figure that out. Now, I feel like there's been a lot of some of these reports, and again, without, maybe there's doctors in I haven't checked the chat or whatever's going on there, but how serious this kind of an outbreak is, I believe it's just isolated to Africa right now.
Yeah, somebody said it's just in Africa.
Yeah, I'm just hearing some updates in my ear as well from the Benzinga platform, so we'll figure that out. But there it is, breaking through 12 now. So just real quickly, I actually skimmed by the short float on that. It's only 13%, so that's still 14%. That's not bad. The market cap right now, sorry, I was looking for shares. I'll go find it. I don't have the actual shares on here, but it is making that move to the upside. It goes SIGA right now, 12.16 and going higher right there. Hey guys, Vadzim, they're a friend of the midday show, says, Sharif, he looks great. Well, I'm glad that you think that, Vadzim. I will pass that along as Sharif goes to the gym right now. So I'll let him know tomorrow that you are feeling like he is looking great. So takes a lot of pride in that. So
yeah, no, for sure.
We'll try to make some great trades.
Sharif will be happy hearing
as well. Thank you, Vadzim, for that one. We will pass that along. Big thumbs up to that. We're very lucky to have. Oh, I have good news about Neil. He'll be back tomorrow. The cast. He got the air cast.
Okay, yeah, we got what he wanted.
That's right. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier today. That was the hope, that he could sort of bypass whatever that next sort of stage was.
Right.
I guess, depending on the tear and how it's healing and all that stuff. And again, he'll tell you the story tomorrow, but apparently good to go coming back there tomorrow in a new and improved lighter cast, so on and so forth. So
that's
I feel
good,
like for him,
he's been on the cast for what, over a month now, I think? I think so, yeah.
I feel like it's been about a month, because I had that week off, maybe 3 weeks maybe. For that one, and I feel like that's about normal. The recovery was something like 4 to 6 months, but it does require rehab. So he'll be talking all about that, I'm sure. So that is great. Thank you to Neil for the update. I want to pass it along to everybody, and thank you, Vadzim, for that. And I wouldn't have thought about it otherwise. All right, so TQs. We did reload a little bit of these TQs there. So let me put a bid out now at 42s. Actually, we just punched out there by accident. We're short at 52 right now, 53s. We just got another short. We're just buying it here off the 50 period. I don't want to bid anymore, but I didn't realize that short just came in there. So, there he is, Sharif. You don't have to come on. We got Vadzim. Does that ring a bell, Vadzim?
Yes.
He says, you look great, and we got a super chat. So I've shutted him out. So there's Sharif. So there we go. So there he is. See, we gave it to him. He's back right now, getting ready to rock and roll and destroy people at the gym. So
yes.
There he is.
Oh, boy. Look at that.
Hey.
Whoa.
He's literally like stone's throw away from me right now. So, all right. Thank you guys for that.
Just open carries on the floor.
Nice to see Sharif.
Oh, yeah.
There, here I am. Hey.
All right. Cameras.
Oh, man. All right. Hi, Ram. Yeah, Ram is the best. Yada, yada. Okay. So as we go, Alibaba, I want to talk quickly about that one tonight. These kids around here are so good with the cameras. They know everything. It's like, I feel as you get older and older, there's so many things that is like, well, you're so young, forget about it. I'm not going to talk about that with you. I'll wait till the old man comes back tomorrow. I'll wait till the old man Neil comes back, and then we can reminisce on the good old days. When you used to use. Actually, I was talking with. Okay, I'll just do it now. Why not? I was talking with the wife. I went there. I had some British pounds to exchange back over. What a racket the banks are, man. Honestly, I was like joking around with the teller. I'm like, how you guys charging like 1.9 on the credit card, and then the real rate is 1.8 on the exchange. But then you go in there to give them the cash back, and they're going to give you 1.7. So it's like they're skimming 10 points off both sides here.
Yep.
The poor guy is just a teller. He wasn't really sure what was going on.
He's like, I'm just doing my job, man.
Yeah. Then the bank manager came over, and we had some discussions, and things got fixed, if you know what I'm saying, a little bit. But at the end of the day, it wasn't that much money. But I was saying to Marissa, I said, back in the day, did you ever have those passbooks? So there used to be bank books. They were just books with flip pages, columns, and you would put it, so you'd transact at the ATM or whatever, and then you would put in your book. People in the chat, you know, shout out to whatever generation we are. You put it into the bank, the machine, and it would just print out like a receipt and give you ledger line of all of your bank, anything that's happened since the last time you updated your bank book.
So you feed it the paper, and it prints it on the paper that you fed it.
Yes. It's not.
Interesting. I've never heard of this,
but you basically had to do it all. Like when there was no internet, believe that or not, Obi, at one point there was no internet.
Okay.
So you didn't have any online banking. So you basically had to. And I was saying to, I was like, how is my mother like writing checks every month and then waiting for them to clear? And it's just such a racket, like all that, you know. And then how much more efficient now? Why didn't I get out of that TQ's trade? How much more efficient right now some of these banks are, and just how old school that was. So if anybody in the chat remembers that stuff, passbooks and bank books, you had to put it in, and then it would spit out all your transactions. You had to make sure that they were all accurate and stuff like that. Or you used to be able to go to grocery stores and pay with a check.
Yeah.
But how would they know that would
vague memory of that? Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I think that's definitely a little bit before my time there. But yeah, no, I have no memory.
In Japan.
No memory of this passbooks date back to the 18th century. Saying Ricky.
Yeah, they used to write them on the scribe.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, in
Rivian Millionaire. I'll have to do that one day.
In London, England. I saw Rosetta Stone in the museum.
Oh, okay, sick. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really sick.
That's proper.
It was really proper. We had proper English tea there. We had a proper afternoon tea.
That's sick.
Proper breakfast.
Yeah.
And saw, the wife likes to go to all these museums. There's actually a really great one in Trafalgar Square, the Portrait Museum.
Ooh.
So it's a museum
art museum?
And in there, maybe I'm going to geek out a little bit here, but
I actually really like.
They have one of the only portraits of Shakespeare.
Okay.
Ever.
Really?
Yes.
You take a picture?
I did.
Oh, I want to see now.
You know, let me see. I'll log into my photos online. And then we'll get that one. So that was really cool. And it was all the hand-drawn. There's so many, honestly, Obi, what they were doing back, early 18th century, whenever these photos and these pictures were taken there of various kings and all this kind of stuff. The talent.
Yeah. Like the craftsmanship.
And it's like I was just blown away. But anyways, Portrait Museum in Trafalgar Square. It's completely free. I was actually talking with an individual here that works on the real trading side that develops the software. He's heading to London this next week, and I was telling him about all that and telling him how expensive it is to go to.
You were saying like what, 1.8?
Yeah, exactly.
Is so Euro cash?
I would just suggest bring some cash. You'll save a little bit on that because the other racket there as well that I noticed, and I think this happens in every major country and for good reasons as well, a lot of places don't take cash anymore.
Really? It's just
so I brought a crap ton of cash with me to pay with cash because I didn't want to use the credit card everywhere. And a lot of places you go there, they don't accept cash.
Really?
Like legit places too.
Okay. So it's just pure card.
Pure card.
Tap.
Your card, especially small businesses and stuff like that. They all want to do. We went to some. Yeah, don't worry about it. No, but the Visa prepaid.
Ramin's got the.
No, but the Visa prepaid, even when you buy that now, it's like I don't want to even give those cards to people as gifts because there's like a $10 or something fee that comes off.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's just like a few bucks.
Anyways, we put it all on card. Anyways, you get the points. Haters gonna hate.
Ramin's like, if you had a lot of that cash, you
Ramin
can just buy
is singing Taylor
visas.
Swift in my ear right now. So.
Swiftie. Are you a Swiftie?
Am I a Swiftie? Yes.
Yeah? She's all right. Hey, she's got some stuff.
I mean, she's literally has economies on her back.
Yeah, apparently.
Right now.
She was the sole reason why the
you go to the strip
economy
club,
was...
Sebastian. That's a good one. They accept cash.
Fair. I was going to say, if you have cash, you might be going to the wrong places.
I know, with the wife. You might be down.
Fair.
Maybe I should have asked.
Damn. All
Say
right.
No to CBC. Okay, whatever that means. All right. Go ahead.
Starbucks above 95. Oh boy.
Dang, what's
I
up
took
with that?
I took a sip of this iced coffee and I was like, oh, I'm definitely getting short on Starbucks. And Starbucks price action was like, absolutely not. We're still going to the upside. Starbucks is about to push day highs right here. Opening price on Starbucks is 95.39, and we're trading right there as of right now. So testing the opening price on the day is Starbucks. We've had pretty much a full-on reversion off of that 92. We talk about that 92 being potentially key. We did trade below it, 91.44, so about 56 pennies below that 92. Exactly, cleaning it up a little bit, washing that 92, and then straight on reversion. Again, I was there. I was on the wrong side of the move. Talk about a reversion. Oh boy, why don't I have this piece right here taking longs? I got short there like a fool. Like someone who does, like someone who doesn't follow their own rules. Let's just say that. So I'm just like, all right, well, I got to follow my own rules. 92 halves all the way to 95 halves is the high right now. 95.45s. Again, day highs right off the open. 95.80s. We're just shy of that. So Starbucks with almost a full-on reversion on the day here. That bid from yesterday definitely picking right back up off of that 92 level. So 92 was definitely the place to get involved on this ticker here. But yeah, we talk about the pullback into prior days, like key levels into prior day. That 92 was definitely standing out. I just did not have the right look or the patience to really kind of exercise that idea. And that is something, again, I got to take home to the bank and really reflect on today. So again, we're coming back off of a couple days off. You ever find that if you take a couple days off, you come back, sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. But how do you kind of manage that coming back? Because I know you just got back off of vacation. How was Monday, Tuesday for you?
So the thing is, I was back Thursday night, and then basically had baseball all Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I was a little tired coming in. So I did feel it a little bit, more the jet lag.
Yep.
But I didn't do anything different.
Okay.
So I just felt maybe a little more tired looking at the charts, maybe like in the face and the eyes and stuff like that, because you're just getting back to the screens. And I don't know, I mean, people are welcome to visit, but when they do, they're going to see that I can't even look up. This is a TV studio. You know, we got tons of lights on us and everything like that. So not only are we trading against the market, we're also trading against some elements here as well. So
against the elements.
Yeah, no, but seriously, right? I mean, it's like we sit here, Obi, and honestly, this is a lot of pressure, and we have the lights just blaring on us as well. So trying to make decisions, look in the camera, all this. So I felt like that part was a little bit off, but as far as trading now, man, this old head of mine might be a little older, but definitely not losing too much in that sort of thing. And tomorrow, we're very excited about this. JC's been on with us a couple times.
Okay.
And JC Perez from All Star Charts, also all over the compound, and friends with Josh Brown. Well read, crazy about the charts, man. What this guy puts out, I mean, some of the things, and we had Michael Noss actually referring to some of the stuff that he was talking about, very seasonality, talking about bulls, bears, talking about different indices, sectors, ETFs, all the questions tomorrow. Look, gold futures, definitely all-star charts. JC Perez doesn't get much better than that. And he is on tomorrow. In and around, was there a time there? I thought it was around 10 o'clock or so tomorrow. We'll get ready for him tomorrow morning. So just join us there. It is 10 a.m. tomorrow, 10 a.m. August 14th. No, that would be tomorrow, which is August 15th. So we'll need to change that. See that, Brendan? Live on air.
Oh boy.
He'll be here.
Yeah, he'll be in the studio.
August 15th, Ramin. Damn, someone's a little too focused on singing Taylor Swift. Someone's a little too focused on giving me rude ideas about how to save 5% on exchange rates.
Yep.
No, I don't want to refresh. All right, I'll refresh. I'm gonna refresh.
It's been taken care of.
I'm gonna refresh.
Yeah.
Mine still says August 14th here. I'm letting you know what it says, but he is live tomorrow as we play around here and kid. I mean, not only are they doing all of that, but they're also switching the show, and there's lots to happen right now. But the best part about JC is he's going to be live here.
Yeah.
in studio.
Yep.
Our last guest we had in studio, of course, Mr. Kevin O'Leary himself, live in studio. And tomorrow we will be joined by the ever popular JC Perez. So yeah, we're excited for that as Trader TV going places. Where's Raider Trader, man? I want to get that guy on as well. Who is it? We actually have somebody on today? Oh, Mr. Faluna, you may say. Okay. I'm down for talking to Ryan Faluna. I like that guy. He's a good guy. Yeah. You know Ryan Faluna. Was talking with him last week? Yeah. I think you and Neil were there last week. Yep. Well, I mean, you want me to talk to him now? All right. Oh, what? It's our guest of the day. It's Ryan Faluna from Benzinga. I was actually just talking about your platform there, Ryan. Let's welcome Ryan on when you can. And we were just talking about that with almost in a minute. There he is. Hey, Ryan. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going, Sean? How are you? Welcome.
It's not going too bad at all. Thank you very much. We were just talking about the Benzinga Pro platform because right now that stock SIGA, S-I-G-A, starting to get going here. And I just heard in my ear, and again, you know, shameless plug, you're on the show. It's great. The platform continues to give live updates all the time with stocks that are on the move. And I don't know what your opinion is on something like an SIGA right now, moving around on monkeypox, Ebola worries here today. Is this something that you would be trading yourself, something that a lot of your chat room or whatever is involved with here, a name like SIGA?
Yes, yes, and yes. And I'd actually like to add to that GovX, which is also similar, a little bit lower price, making this exact same type of moves as SIGA is today. I'll say this, I'm glad that this happened. I mean, for the stock, not for real life here, because I actually didn't have a whole lot here today until we got this. But this intraday chart shows you all you need to know. As soon as you get that squawk, and you guys know because you're using this every day, as soon as you get that squawk, you can scalp this till your heart's content. We actually got something like this on BYND last, I think it was Friday of last week. Very, very similar. SIGA, though, this thing has really kind of gone. This gives one of my favorite setups. When you first get that squawk, there's definitely squawks to be had in this impulse move. Once that impulse move kind of dies off and we have a regressive move back to the VWAP, this generally is going to set up trade number 2. And we actually got that here, pretty kind of a slow grind away from the VWAP. So yeah, multiple setups here. If you didn't want to trade a $10 stock, you had GovX, which I think is about $2. And then the other stock that was moving here today is GNLN, and I saw that just popped into a halt this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for that. Again, another note, and you can find all this information right on the platform, highlighting different names and different targets. Good point there. $2 versus $10 as some people trade. Yep. Smaller accounts. The last time we were on here, we kind of joked about, you know, different fast foods. Maybe it wasn't the last time, but every time we seem to have some good fun. We talked about Starbucks, Chipotle, different things. And, you know what? You reminded me Portillo's. And I haven't looked at that stock, but ever since then, man, I do want that Italian beef. So next time we're together, we're going to have to grab some of that Portillo's. But what a move on Starbucks, man. I mean, today, we were long in and around 92. We tried it. We got in and out, stopped out. I really like that level. 91.50 seems to hold. And then now right back into the day's high, almost as if this whole drop didn't happen. But Ryan, what a move up there for Starbucks. As soon as I saw that story come through, I immediately retweeted it. I think Brian Nickel moving over from Chipotle into Starbucks, try to right that ship again. Such a monster that is Starbucks. Stores everywhere. They got to right the wrong in China. I think that's going to be a very, very important move as well. Any opinions here on Starbucks? I wrote down today short, thinking that this was maybe overdone a little bit. Anything with your history, experience on maybe changing of CEOs or what to expect here moving forward with Starbucks?
Yeah, I got a couple of things for you here. And first of all, I was in the exact same boat you were, right? Pardon my bird who's in my office here today. I'm sorry about that. The Starbucks, this thing popped like 25% yesterday. And anytime I see a 25% pop, I'm generally thinking, yeah, we probably have a regressive move coming here. We didn't really get that. I mean, we got it a little bit. Now we're being bought all the way back up to the highs. Look at this thing popping above multiple moving averages on the daily, the 50, the 100, the 200, and the 500. I mean, just a wild move. Now, as far as Brian Nickel goes here, hate to throw some cold water on this, but we actually have a former analyst who's part of our community, who shared some thoughts and talked to some people and said, you know, Brian Nichols doesn't really have China experience. So you correctly pointed out there that fixing China for Starbucks here is going to be the big thing. And I'm just not sure how great he's going to do or I'm not sure how well he's going to perform for that metric. But I mean, let's face it, market's rewarding this stock like crazy for that. He did a great job at Chipotle, evidently. And actually, as far as Chipotle goes, the person that's taking over for the CEO role came from the COO role and has been there for a while, really knows the business. I actually think that's pretty good. I was thinking pairs trade here, long Chipotle, short Starbucks on this move. I actually closed my Chipotle out for a gain earlier today. No position yet on Starbucks, but for the next trade, I'd be looking for it short.
Oh, I just noticed that Chipotle in the space, still one of the more expensive, around 50, 55 PE, so a little expensive. But I do like that play. I actually like that long Chipotle, short Starbucks. I think that move was a little overextended for
think about it. This is the way I break it down. Are you going to eat less burritos because the CEO left?
Me personally?
You personally, because I know the answer for me is no.
No, and I think the same thing true of Starbucks, to be honest with you. I just, We'll see what winds up happening. Again, I think it's valuation, right? If people are going to be selling expensive stocks to try to buy lower PEs in this environment, then Chipotle still has a little ways to go down. But I do like the long. I think it's gone down a lot. And you pay up for valuation, right? You pay up for these growth stocks. I don't know if Chipotle is still in the growth phase, but I do like the stock, and I do like that commentary for sure. Okay. Anything you're worried about right now in the market? I mean, I kind of want to open it up to you. We just talked about SIGA a little bit there. For me, we have Walmart reporting tonight or tomorrow morning. So that we'll see if there's any sort of, the Emperor has some clothing there. We kind of talk like that here on the show as far as Walmart, Nvidia, things like that. Will these big names that have been holding up the market continue to do that? I wonder a little bit about the consumer. Anything bothering you right now, or anything that you're a little worried about with this economy or anything?
Yeah, definitely. I think the consumer is tightening. That's actually what I've been kind of on for a while here. And I'm watching that out of some of the reports. And to your point about that Walmart report, I have no position for that print, but that is exactly what I'm looking for. I believe AMAT reports tomorrow night as well. So we'll see how they do. What am I worried about with the market? I'm worried about that this doesn't really feel normal. Feels like something's kind of off or something's kind of broken here. I know if you want to go to the charts here, one of the things I talked about on Friday is that the Qs had really kind of closed the gap, but that's all they've really done, right? They bounced off the 200, they closed the gap. If we take a look at the SPY chart, it actually looked very similar to that, although it wasn't as clean of a bounce off that 200-day. And my thought here was, well, that's good. We closed that gap, but maybe now we'll kind of roll over and test those lows. That would kind of fit in with the consumer weakening, which I'm expecting to see here. And we just haven't got that yet. We continue to push up to the highs. Here on the SPY, it actually looks like we're going to test the 50-day and possibly this trend line that goes all the way back to October of 2023. So that's kind of what I'm watching. I'm generally speaking, I really like swinging and investing in small caps and getting some of those big moves. And frankly, I'm just not seeing that. I think one of the last times you and I talked, Sean, we were talking about the IWM break and how strong this break over 210 was. Pretty much came all the way back in. Let's see if we can break out again and get another move here. But these are some of the things that I'm looking at or worried about with this market. Yes, I'm definitely worried about the consumer. It's only a matter of time before this market really kind of comes back in. The $64,000 question is, when's that going to happen?
Yeah, I wish we did. No, we have actually this 8-ball right here, that we ask different questions to all the time. We can
Does
ask
yours
live.
work? Because I got one too, and mixed results on it.
Yeah, it's about 50-50. All right, so will the economy break anytime soon? It says something about yes. Oh, now it's all fuzzy. Now I can't even see it. Only if Brendan buys. So I'll have to talk to Brendan after this.
That's right. You got that custom one with all those cool answers. That's sweet.
Yeah, man, we have the best viewers here. Someone sent that in, and it's custom made, so it'll say different answers between Neil, myself, and everybody around here. It's pretty sweet for sure. Okay, you know what else is very, very interesting? And I know you and I talked about IWM before, and I think that as interest rates start to come back in. Hopefully, we just saw that about 50 basis points is what we're looking at for September. So that's nice. I'll hit a bang for that. I think that's a good one. But you know what else is going up here? What about gold? As we continue to go higher and higher here with gold, Ryan. I mean, it looks like that is trying to break out through 228 right now. I'm just talking about the GLD again. Looks like it wants to take 230. That would be all-time highs right now. And I do feel like sometimes when there is smoke, there's fire. And right now, gold taking out some of these highs and Bitcoin on and trying to get back. I know it's not above 60,000, but maybe digital gold trying to get back up and real gold definitely taking out all-time highs. So any opinion here? Do we keep on riding this trend with gold? Are you in any swing trades here related to any metals?
Okay, so I'm not in any swing trades presently for some of the metals, but I could absolutely be convinced. You talked about ticker GLD. That's what I would look for too in terms of gold. One of the things that I'd like to see is, do we get another one of these pullbacks to the 50? Because one of the things that we're looking at here, as you outlined, is going to be this triple top here. And I do think if we keep banging on that door, eventually we're going to break that down and we're going to go higher. And yeah, that would be a really decent swing trade. In fact, even if you miss that, if we get a break above this top and then you get any type of back test of that level, I think that's probably safe for a swing trade too. But the one thing that's got me here, the reason that I'm not already positioned in this, look how far away we are from some of these longer term moving averages. When the stock's set up like that, or when that happens, I generally speaking try to become a little bit more conservative and try and work on my entry. I'll be honest with you, I don't know about you folks, but it hasn't been great buying breakouts recently. I've been much better poised for success when I buy weakness, right? And when my entries are real good at a support level there, that's when I do the best. So that's what I'm going to try and do here. We do have this 100 converging on the 50. If the price comes back in at all and is able to hold that level, yeah, I'm going to be a buyer here for a move long. If we break out here, again, I'm not necessarily just going to buy the breakout. I'm not going to chase that. I would much rather have that back test and set up and give me more confidence in that swing trade. Yeah, as far as Bitcoin goes, while I don't trade that back and forth, I absolutely am a Bitcoin bull, but I'm just a hodler. So I'm not actively trading that. I am looking at that. I'd love for that to really kind of get back to that 70,000 level. That's the level that's really going to tell me we're going to go higher here. And as far as the digital gold comment that you just made, you know, we really haven't seen this kind of be something that you can own when the market really kind of sells off. It doesn't necessarily behave like gold, despite my bullishness to it.
Yeah, you're right about that. I actually thought with gold breaking out and sort of this little bit of turmoil now in the NASDAQ pulling back about 11%, now coming back to the upside here. But I thought Bitcoin would have reacted a little bit better to that potentially as well. So we'll hold out hope that Bitcoin gets going, as I am a fellow hodler, but I just did sell some Solana the other day, as I feel like I want to stay in the big ones as we get a little more serious here with both Bitcoin and Ethereum. So, and as you mentioned, I just want to bring to everyone's attention, we just took out the high there of the afternoon on the TQs. So we were shorting it. Now we've just stopped shorting that one. It'll be a positive name for us, but all these fills just never got going here. As the afternoon, Ryan, you know what I start to feel like? Sometimes we get these bigger moves that will happen, but generally speaking, I mean, even yesterday into the close here, a little bit of a rally back into the close, right? I mean, obviously the last couple of days, there's another rally into the close again 2 days ago. And it looks like we may be, and I don't know if it's going to happen again now, but it's 3 o'clock and we're just starting to get going, breaking through the afternoon levels that we've tried to make, going higher right now into the close. You seen any correlations like that? Is that something that you'd like to take advantage of, or maybe that's too short time frame for you going long in the last hour based on past results?
No, I will often do that. One of the things that I like to do is you're just talking about the TQQQ. Yep. One of the ETFs that I've been on recently is the SQQQ. Again, given the way I think about the market and my kind of bearish bias that I currently have, I'm generally speaking looking to take this. some of my best ads on this, on SQQQ, have been right near the close, right? We see some type of formation or we see some type of move today. We're trading back up to that 545. We'll see if we end up taking that out here before we close on the SPY. On the Qs, though, this one I've really kind of been trading more often just because of all of the different moves in tech. And I mean, look, we had a move up here after the PPI and the CPI. We've had this move up. I thought today was going to be a red day. I brought my red shirt out.
Nice.
It looked good around the open, and then all of a sudden the buyer's like, no, Ryan, you're not going to be correct today. We're going to go to the highs. So see if we could take out 545 on SPY. As far as SQQQ goes here, kind of holding around this 50. I took a starter position here, and I'm not ready to admit defeat yet. I'm not going to sell that at a loss here. I think my first entry price on this was about $9.40, so about 50 cents beneath that entry. But I think maybe we can hold this 50. I think we probably do pull back here in the Qs with some of these other tech names, and if so, I want to be positioned ahead of time. I don't want to be chasing that move. So if we're able to hold this, if we don't really break down, I'll actually probably add a little bit more SQQQ tonight going into tomorrow's session.
I like that. Yeah, now that we have PPI and CPI out of the way. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us again here on what's been a quiet afternoon. We'll see if it gets a little spicy here into the close. Thanks for all the talk on gold and everything there and some of those ideas on SIGA. You want to leave the viewers with anything before you say goodbye?
Yeah, if you haven't tried the Squawk yet on Benzinga Pro, please try that, because I'll be honest, like I said, coming into today or coming into the spot here today, I was worried. I was like, I didn't really have a whole lot of stuff lined up, and then we just got the gift from the Squawk there with SIGA and GovX. So if you haven't checked that out, check that out. Even on days like this where it feels a little light, you never know where that next trade is coming. Be ready to take advantage of that. This was a great example of it today.
Yeah, perfect. And that's why I sort of led with that. I mean, it's in our ear. We actually do talk about it all the time on the show. So definitely a great feature with the Benzinga Pro platform. Hit the description in the link for our show to get deals with Benzinga Pro. So thank you so much, Ryan. One more time, it's Ryan Faluna, and we'll check you next week. Are you on Friday as well?
Yeah.
Recap show. Perfect. All right, we'll see you then.
I'll see you on Friday.
We'll see you on Friday. Ciao, Ryan. That's it. Let's go. All right, thank you, Ryan Faluna. That is our trader guest of the day there, Obi. So always nice to talk to him. Again, very, very similar methods of trading to many traders on prop floors. And good to get everybody's opinion, right? We have JC Peretz coming tomorrow. He'll talk his book, not his book, but thoughts on market and whatnot. It's great to hear Ryan's thoughts as often. Me, you, Adara, Sharif, and Neil and Brendo, we all talk what we think. It's great to hear other opinions as well. And he's right about that Benzinga Pro platform. They do have a great opportunity there to give you breaking news. You got to be careful sometimes what you wish for, because sometimes I've been into trades. I'll just talk both sides of it. Been into trades where you hear something, it's like that Nike. I mean, here's a perfect example, Nike. And again, just you traded whatever you hear and whatever you know. But this came in, boom, a little bit of a volume spike, not that big that there was Starboard or Elliott or something that was taking a position. So I was like, oh, let me build into this long against VWAP. Once VWAP broke, I got out, which was good because it went down another $1 or so. But then there's the end of the day move right now as Nike. Wow, Nike up to $79, man. Yeah, just do it. You know, because that one.
I mean, it's just doing it.
It is just
back to yesterday's highs. I actually again taking reps here, but I was like, okay, back to yesterday's highs. Let's see if it holds trend and pushes back up above. It's taking a bit of a pullback, bit of a breather off of yesterday's highs there, Nike. But yeah, Nike, one of the top names I did have on watch today because of what it did yesterday, right? I was like looking for that bid to potentially come back in, and oh boy, did we hold those 77 halves quite well off of the open there. So again, that continuation on Nike happening right now with just under an hour left.
Yeah, I was just saying, that's what I was saying to Ryan.
It's power hour now, so it's about roughly 55 minutes left to go, and Nike is pushing highs in the last hour. What's up?
I have a new position alert.
Ooh, what is that? What's going on? Palantir?
No.
AMD.
That's AMD. AMD.
Nice.
Yeah. We got stopped out there. We did not like getting stopped out of our Qs position, which kind of sucked, but it just broke the high and we got out. So there was really not much damage done at the end of the day. We still are positive on this name. We've talked about that over and over again. and it's a good one. But I just, you know what? I just noticed AMD here, and I said, if the market's going to fall down here, this is a weaker name than everything else. We came right into that level. We were getting close enough to it. That's 140 and change. On the 20-minute chart, we were at the 50-period moving average rate here. It's been pretty choppy, you know, at this level. But often when you retrace back and then have a little bit of a high like this, I don't mind taking this short against it. So we're now short 140.30s, as you can see on the board there, against this 140.50 or so area. So I already put the stop in. It was a break through that 50 area. So, we just got to fill there at 16s. So we were short 30s, out 16, so 15 cents. That's about the amount of risk. So now we're 1-to-1. There it is right there, Obi. So nice little trade. We actually have a couple fills up there. So, hey, if we want to ride, we'll ride. Right now, I'm going to put another bid down here at 11s. Then we're bidding 02s. And there's more to come. We're trying to get a little more short up there near 140.45 at that high. So we start the trade. And you and I actually talked about this again as we talked about position sizing and stuff. So we actually have two fills there as we get about a third or so of the size that we want. So we'll take that down for 15 cents just to go 1-to-1 and hopefully a pullback in here where we're bidding again. So 140 or so for a bid. Hopefully we'll be able to get a couple there and then we'll break to the downside as if this market wants to fade out. We got a weak name. So we're happy with that if it goes. And the other reason why I'm picking AMD is we have an out that's super close. I saw Dara trading Starbucks, and I know you had already sort of gone over this, and there was the key levels there of $92. Although I was going long there, and it looked like that was right, but also the short was right. So if you play around key levels,
both will work.
You can, both may not work, but at least you have your outs, and you're really willing to take associated risk at levels that you can easily define. And I think that's the key for me, right? So I've already done the math. Like if AMD goes up, we'll see that's a good fill there. If AMD keeps on going, we'll get some more shares in the 40s and then get stopped out just slightly north of 50. So that will be a spot that I'm looking to trade off of right now is where we've done pretty good, man. Amazon was the short basically of the day for me here. It was just so clean. We had the app. I mean, the Apple long is my P&L number one, and we'll discuss that in a couple minutes as well. But there it is, man, off of VWAP. So you finally get a VWAP retracement rate there at 950. Wasn't there at 10 o'clock, but we were here midday at 12 o'clock. Actually, we started it at 12:15 or so. Shorting right there, boom, into that collapse. So that was a really great trade for Amazon. That short is 170.50. These outs down here are 169.50. So that's your dollar club outs. And now you've started to come back upside. But a lot of outs there, again, in the middle of the day.
Yeah, you caught the market flush on Amazon.
What I didn't catch is that move up.
Yeah,
like I don't know where we were.
The reversion was solid though.
Yeah, I would have liked to. You had Amazon. You noticed Amazon didn't.
VWAP. Yeah.
That was why. And again, it's just you know, you and I can sit here as much as we want to and look for names, and they're going to find lots. Oh yeah. And you could trade off of. I can anyways, and I think a lot of our viewers can too. Find reasons to get in and out of any symbol, really. We can look at a symbol right now that's barely moving and say, okay, we'll just scalp it for a penny or two.
Yeah.
You can look at it, you can move like Moderna or that SIGA or anything, GovX or whatever, and trade it. But is it setting up for you? Is it at levels that you can appropriate define risk? And to me, that's the most important thing. So on AMD right now, we're going to wait for a 140.40 or so fill to average into this, then have our full position, then give ourselves about 15 to 20 cents worth of risk on AMD.
Yeah, so I'm just watching the Starbucks here, taking a bit of a pullback off of that 95. Again, we talk about how aggressive that strength and that push back through VWAP, back through 93s, and then 94s, a little bit of consolidation that holds, and then you push 95 halves, and we talk about this being the opening price range, opening high, can't even get through that significantly as of right now, taking a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of a breather back down through that 95. So that's what I'm looking at. Talking about reversions, oh boy, yeah, I tried it a couple of times. Again, just trying to take some good reps, trying to get some wins under the belt so we can come back swinging harder, better, faster for tomorrow. I was going to say for Toronto, I guess, yeah, for Toronto as well. But yeah, look at that breakout push off of when we reclaim that anchored from yesterday. Again, just anchored off of yesterday's event right there. Taking a little wee bit of a pullback. Let's see if we can get back down into VWAP on the day here. VWAP on the day, 93.44s, trading at 94.69s. But again, got to respect the volume and take a look at that as well. Slightly expanding relative volume as well. going in, but we're taking a bit of a pullback. Our vol sitting at 1.11 on the 5 period, and we are currently rejecting the opening price on Starbucks as of right now. A little bit of a pullback, about a point back. Again, opening price Starbucks was 95.39. We're trading 94.70s as of right now. Let's see whether or not some of this buying pressure was just very temporary or not. Yeah, a lot of people are just like, yeah. So on the same argument that like, that Ryan was talking about, just because they changed their CEO, are we gonna be eating less at Chipotle? Maybe, maybe not. But same thing with Starbucks. When the CEO switches over, sure, maybe forward-looking, maybe people are wanting to get in.
Change this.
But that action, I was talking to some of the guys on the floor. Apparently yesterday's action was very erratic. So what Starbucks did in the middle of the day, kind of very similar to how it was moving 20 pennies at a time with a 10 to 15 penny spread yesterday. Again, I missed out on that. Didn't really get a feel for that action. So when Starbucks comes in and moves like this, I'm like, oh, what the hell is going on? Why is it moving like that? I'm like, why are you running? Where are you running? And running, it did all the way from 92s to 95. So I had to step out of that one there for sure. We got to respect that action. Got to get better at respecting that kind of action when it does come in, and not being like, deer in headlights. Oh, what's happening? This shouldn't be happening, and holding on to the position. Maybe not the best thing to do. Right. But it is taking a little bit of a pullback back through 95s right now, because we did. Well, not because we did fail a back through open attempt there on Starbucks, but who knows how far this pullback can be. Again, if you have some moving averages going on there, we could just slow down this trend back to the upside and pull back in. But the market taking a pullback off of that 19.1, definitely helping us out a little bit here on the Bucks.
Remember what we were doing?
What were you doing?
Shorting AMD.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
50 cents.
Nice.
It's a chicken dinner winner. I mean, you go buy some Starbucks with it. You can get Chipotle. You can get chicken at Chipotle there. You get I forget what it's called there. But you can go grab that as well. Get some carnitas in there.
You gotta get the better drinks though. Otherwise, you'll be poised to kind of stay short by.
Remember what I said? Yeah. The thing about Starbucks is they don't even have a cheap cup of coffee, so it's all good. You don't have to worry about getting cheaper coffee there because they don't have it. All right. So there it goes, man. Good outs on AMD all the way down into the VWAP. So we'll take that again on that trade. And I don't know. We're feeling pretty good about ourselves again here because that was another call.
Yep.
Like the fact that we're going to be hopefully getting green here today is such a relief, because we were off on the morning there and did not hit the proper levels, the proper trades. Battled back, and that's what we're doing now. So, and it's funny too, because the TQs, there's the stop. Like if I give it like basically 5, let's call it 10 more cents, then we have a 30-cent winner right now, because this short right here is 58s. We gave it 65s. I thought I was giving it 65. What was that out? Yeah, that's 65. Yeah, so there's the out right there. So you can see it's very limited damage, man. That's a 50. Then we got to fill up there at 57. Then we took some out at 50s or 52s. Then it started to rip up. Then we got taken out for everything. And then the move back in right there. So that was a nice pullback for the NASDAQ. So again, people are just joking about it maybe in the chat, saying like this looks like paint drying and everything like that. I do not disagree. But you have to take advantage when moves like this happen. I thought we were sitting at the peripherals, and I wanted to get out in case that run continued. It does not do that. Comes right back in. So, all right, stopped out of it, but woe is me. Cry me a river. We're still got AMD. Nvidia also falling off, though. Again, I prefer the long this way. If Nvidia can come down into 116.50, we'll take that. So Walmart earnings tonight. Tomorrow morning, right. Tomorrow morning. Thank you for that one. Yeah, tomorrow morning. There's not much tonight. I think we have Alibaba. We'll
we got some names for tomorrow.
If we have the earnings board, we can call that up too. For now, let's just go through here.
Cisco tonight.
Do we have it?
Yeah.
We do have the earnings board?
Well, I have one up here.
That's not our earnings board.
No.
Yeah.
We got Cisco tonight.
Walmart, that was the other one. Yeah, so we have AMAT. So I just wanted to go because Ryan talked about that. So AMAT tonight. That's going to come right at 4 o'clock or so if their conference call is 4:30. So we'll get ready for that one coming through AMAT. Ooh, a stock that I really like, and I know it's a good friend of ours, Miss Danielle Shea, John Deere. Wow, AMD, guys, is now 60 cents in the money. Boy, got that one, baby.
There's our board. AMAT's tomorrow night. Yeah, tomorrow, Thursday after hours. We got Cisco after
Oh
the
yeah,
close.
why does this board says
a
August
big one.
15th? That's my bad right there. Okay, so let's look at this board right here. AMAT's tomorrow. Nice one, Ryan Faluna. Okay, I'm the one misreporting it. Yeah, tonight after close is going to be Cisco. So I can't really see what else is over there. Dragonfly is over there. D Local, Stone & Co. and Geopark. That sound, Obi.
Looking not too bad. Again, I'll be watching Cisco. I'll definitely be watching some of the China names here. Again, Jay Lee in the chat, kind of talking about. I see you talking about China being in a full-blown recession, and some of the opinions on that. And yeah, interesting that some of these names have earnings tomorrow. Again, Baba, JD, definitely going to be on watch. Cisco and Walmart as well. I like those. Alibaba, JD, I don't necessarily trade very often, but earnings is definitely a time to kind of take a look if I am kind of trading them. But Walmart, definitely going to be on watch. Let's see what Walmart is doing today, kind of going into earnings, today being earnings eve, right? So let's see. I did have it on radar prior day because of how strong it sold off of the open there. Excuse me, a little distinctly different from the rest of the market as aggressive selling back into these 67s. And then we're kind of bidding up. We're holding those levels. A little bit of pre-market relative volume over the past couple of days here and holding a bit of a flat top, 68.76 high a day as of right now. But take a look at this. We've been, VWAP has been bid up pretty much all day, 68.30s holding as well. Bit of a double bottom there, attempting to push high a day. And going into earnings being tomorrow morning should be interesting. Let's take a higher time frame look at this one as well to see where we could potentially go if we do make a significant move. So interesting. Take a look at that. We've been holding earnings anchored from prior earnings. We did dip into it as of last Monday, but take a look at that aggressive bid right back above that earnings anchored that's been holding so beautifully well since, when was this? Check the specific date, the 16th of May of this year. So we've been holding some of those levels. Buyers have definitely been winning in charge as we hold that VWAP. So coming into tomorrow, let's see what we do with some of these levels. This is a bit of consolidation sideways that we've formed, 66s, 67s, highs at 69s and 70s right here with the strong selling. So yeah, if we get either side of this move, I'd be curious to know where Walmart will take us tomorrow. Let's take a quick look at the daily chart as well, just to see how this thing has been setting up. 71.33, Sean, is all-time highs. We could definitely see a little bit of a push if we push up onto earnings. Last earnings gave us a bit of a gap up, and we've been holding. Curious to know what earnings tomorrow will bring on Walmart. Bit of a muted day after the gap up, so it seems like the gap is most of the price action on this ticker.
We might just take advantage of this name coming through again. Amazon, we're now $1 in the money on this trade.
Oh boy.
Just came back into the low again. I'm going to put a bid here, 169.20 or so for Amazon. You know, that NASDAQ short was so cash money, man. It was crazy. Yeah. We wound up getting out of it, but you know, we still are 70 cents in the money here on AMD. As that falls down, we still have a piece there. Yeah, that's our TQQ trade. Waiting for that move too, right? But we don't have it. So we'll have to wait a little longer on that one. All right, let's go to the lows of the day. I don't know if that's going to be happening there, says Dan, but yeah, it could be. We're now under VWAP, under the 200 period moving average on this NASDAQ. I want to find more. My best trade of the day, including all of these, I feel like was Apple.
Yeah, you had that.
You know, we had that long. That's the long right there at 930 at 220.
Best price of the day.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Only time you could have got that. We did fade in a little bit in there, but again, well taken. I feel like on this trade. So yeah, pretty happy with it. That is going to be Apple, and there's our out. So not only was this the end, but then we have the out there before this happened.
Yeah.
So that was a good one. Excuse me. As we watch out for this 220.
You're not the only one selling there. I'll tell you. You definitely were not the only one selling.
No, I don't know what triggered that, but there was the sell down. And I was just using past areas right there. If it was going to break, it was going to break. We did give up about 50 cents on the high, but it did come back in. And that was a great one there for me on Apple there today as well. All right, AMD is still where it needs to be. We'll watch out for Nvidia.
All right. VWAP
70s.
buying? Okay.
70s. No, nothing really buying, honestly, down here. Moved down. We had the 200 period fine. Bounced around. That was $70 flat right there. Look at this out. So we actually got 20% each time. So we took 20, 30 cents, then that's 70, 50, that's 50 cents, then that's 70, 70, that's 70 cents, and then up here, 70, 150 as we do diamond hands out. We talk about we're on comeback season, man. We're on the comeback season right now for our net. So yeah, part of it was that. So we had some good little trades there happening. Part of it Shopify as we continue to talk that. So that was a good one there coming through for us on Shopify. Part of the reason why we're able to put some of the damage on the board here again today. So that was a good one as we try to make our way back into Greensville. Nike with that huge move up. Apple. I mean, what else do we want to fade here, guys, today?
Oh, boy.
You can see Obi's in that Nike. And, hey, those are two stocks I just recently bought. We recently bought Nike, 72. We recently bought Starbucks, 74. Two good names there as we go forward. So what time is it? 3:20? We're almost over. Now we have Chris Bretcher tonight on the recap show.
Okay, that should be good.
You want to talk about MACD?
Okay, all right.
Use MACD?
I have in the past, but again, it's an oscillating indicator. I think specific situations, I think it has valid use as a bit of an indicator, but no, I don't necessarily have it as part of my playbook. But I know there are players who definitely use it effectively as well. So
MACD will make you
jump,
right? Chris Cross will also make you jump. Believe that. All right.
Oh, better be.
Yeah, you better believe that. Right there. Okay.
Starbucks pulling back nicely off of that trend
Tesla
break
gave
there
up
right
200.
now.
How's my crowd doing?
Boom,
I'm trying
boom,
to crowdsource that there, Sebastian. I don't think it's doing very well. Actually, I looked at, that's funny that you ask about that, probably tongue-in-cheek trying to make fun of that position. But at the end of the day, CRW do. I looked back, I looked at it yesterday because I was like, where exactly are we? We were down 8% on it. We're long at 262.25 on CrowdStrike. So we were not here. We did not buy into it. I'm trying not to buy falling swords and whatnot. CrowdStrike.
Swords, yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's just been, we heard about, I mean, not heard about it. We all lived through some of those problems, including flight delays and all that kind of chaos that was started by that one update that they rolled out.
Still
that
bidding
was
up
not an update, but very well. But anyways, moved down there,
right.
Got absolutely crushed CrowdStrike. But again, feel like it is one of the best cybersecurity names out there from what you always read about before this had happened. It's still a really, really nice PE. It's high. Their price earnings. I'll double check it in a minute. But yeah, I don't know. Falling back in. I still like CrowdStrike down.
You said you got some more of this?
I did not buy more. I bought for the first time on the way down.
Okay.
And my price is $266.25. So we bought it in,
almost there.
Yeah, we bought it in here, and then it just kept on going against us. And again, we weren't here in chaos day, but we could have averaged it in somewhere around here. We didn't. Didn't want to keep falling after these names, right? I've sort of decided now that I want to buy the best names only. I think I've talked to you about this. Yep. Like, I don't even really want to buy ETFs. I just want to buy the bet. Certain ETFs I think you should be buying, but again, for myself, for my own risk tolerance, I just feel like I look back and I just see some of the wins that you've had over time if you've been patient enough to hold some of these best companies. Other than, and this is why I say, there's always going to be stories of Intels, of Ford, of GM, where you're buying the names, you're holding on to them, and you open up your eyes 30 years later and you realize it's at the same price.
What do you think is one of those names?
I just gave you two of them.
In the chip sector?
Oh, for now, moving forward?
Yeah.
So I'm a little worried about Micron only because I don't know enough about DRAM and I don't hear enough about it, and I know that that's their primary business. So I'd be a little worried about that one not being as exciting. Obviously, Intel's left for dead. It's been dead for, as I just said, 30 years. We had Brian Shannon on the other day. We're at a 30-year anchored VWAP right now. You know what that means?
I don't know what that
means. You know what VWAP means?
Yeah.
We're at it now.
A 30
years, going back 30 years, we're at it
so
today.
Any and every long that has sat in that ticker
is back to average price.
Is at the average price at that line.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You guys can look that up.
That's
and I said, what can I fool Brian Shannon with? Wow. Apparently nothing. He's like,
that's almost half a lifetime, dude.
Right, half, yeah. Almost half my life, yeah. What are you trying to say, Obi?
I'm not trying to say anything, but I'm just saying that is almost half a lifetime.
Half a lifetime, not half my lifetime.
No.
Yeah. More than your lifetime.
Yes, roughly. Yeah. We'll say that. All right.
All right. So, anyways, yeah. So I don't know what chip name would you be worried about right now? Is that?
I don't know. I'm liking a little bit of ARM.
I think we're trying to relate to stocks that might be doing nothing over the next 30 years. I thought you asked me.
No. Ones that are potentially like undervalued.
Oh, okay. Well,
and then you close your eyes, you wake up 30 years later, and you're like, oh well, that's nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. A little pretty penny. I mean, I have a few uncles who, again, I guess they got a little lucky. Worked for Softy. Had a very strong tech basket as of the past 15, 20 years, and even on some of their kids' funds growing up, monthly they would literally be buying Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, like chip, and then they're and Intel as well. Sure, not every one of the tickers did well, but they're sitting very, very nice on some of those names now. So
I showed Fabian no word of a lie in the last.
That's what I'm looking for.
The last time I opened up the account, I was up 600% on Nvidia.
Beauty.
Yeah, and it's not like a huge amount of money or anything like that. It's just that's the kind of and you can just look at charts. It's not rocket science. That's what Nvidia has been doing over the last 6 years or something like that. And I always tell the story that I ran into a guy that was working in the back there. He's not here anymore, but was a good friend. He was laughing at me when we were buying Nvidia at $100. Because I remember buying that and it went to 1,400.
Not this recent 100.
It went to 1,400.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Way back in the day. And it was, I was buying it because I was going over to CompuCenter or whatever on Yonge Street there and buying GPUs for the Bitcoin rig.
Right.
And I was like, man, these things are expensive. I'm going to buy the stock. It's like the same thing. And again, so it wasn't a huge amount of money or anything like that. I was probably dripping more. I probably spent more on this stupid rig that really didn't. I mean, so we made a little bit of money on crypto, but it would have made more if I just dropped it into the stock. But at the end of the day, that's just goes the story of, buying things that maybe you understand and seeing what's happening there in the market. And clearly I didn't understand enough because that was a runner, just like Meta. I mean, if you were patient enough on Meta 3 years ago, it was $100.
Yeah.
It's $500 right now. So 500%.
The question becomes, are we going to be sitting here five years from now being like, oh, remember when Nvidia was 100?
Well, I will definitely be sitting here 5 years from now. Will you?
Hopefully.
Exactly.
Are you still going to be trading?
I like that attitude.
Yeah.
All right.
A little bit better, a little stronger, a little faster.
Yeah, a little bit stronger, faster. More buying power. Fatter stacks.
Definitely
like
more buying power.
That's what we're talking about here.
Let's pump those numbers up.
Good talk. Yeah, that's funny. There was somebody that put in. I saw that. I saw a report. There's somebody that got. I don't know if his grandmother passed away or something, but he tweeted something out right before Intel earnings that he was dropping in like his $700,000 or something like that into Intel. And then all of a sudden earnings happened and it went, cool. And he wound up losing pretty much like most of his
inheritance. Took the other side of that trade
there on Intel. But yeah, Intel, what a disgrace that stock's been for many shareholders. And there's been lots of examples of that. Marijuana names have really depleted my account. I've talked about that. Holding on to names like Ford and GM and like that has been disastrous. But buying names like Tesla and all that do have their upside.
Did I tell you one of the first stocks that I ever bought were marijuana stocks? That's how I kind of like, there was a hype. I knew nothing about stocks at all. And I was like, oh, I should probably buy this because things would magically go up after legalization. And I learned very quickly what buy the rumor, sell the news means. And I got sold to. And I was like, I do not like getting sold to. I'm not going to get sold to in this game.
It is,
but
funny.
It happens.
Intel used to be so dominant.
Yeah, no, it did.
Intel Inside and all that stuff. It was like the only PC thing. You'd always used to pay up for it. I don't know if they got a little. And again, people in the tech business would know much more about this than I would. But I don't know if they just sort of got too big for themselves and didn't really see the light beyond computing and going into the GPU side of things, and they just focused on the chips. But again, not knowing enough about it. So
that's why I like Qualcomm as well. Qualcomm.
That was another one.
The future of.
And I don't mind your call on ARM.
I like ARM. ARM, you take a look at the bigger chart, dude. Like, we are holding quite well. Like, I was charting this. Like, these are all the lines post IPO. We're trading well above post IPO prices there. In and around when was this? The opening was 56.10. Right? It feels just like yesterday when this ticker IPO'd, and this thing went for a wild ride. Sure, it's starting to settle off now, but take a look at these heavy sells that are holding. We're holding higher lows, and we're holding 100 now as well on ARM. I like that. Again, taking a look, taking a peek. I like the price action potentially at it for now, but What's going on, Adara?
Now look at some of these names making some outsized moves here today on the S&P 500 here. And there are quite a few. First, as you can tell here, if you just go back here, financial sector, very strong. One of these names strongly to the upside is Charles Schwab, SCHW, up about 5%, still near days highs. They did have their monthly activity highlights report for July. Total new assets brought to the company here at $29 billion. So good look for SCHW. Home Depot, interesting too. This one, day 2 of earnings, up about 2%, generally holding up support here pretty well. Had quite a few analyst notes, quite a few actually price target decreases, including from Evercore, ISI, and Stifel. But this one, a couple price target increases, sending this nicely to the upside today. Last but not least, another story about price target decreases. CrowdStrike, this one actually still up about 3% and a little bit away from day's highs as well, despite having a series of price target decreases. Though we do have, in the case of both Scotiabank and D.A. Davidson here, Citigroup and D.A. Davidson both maintaining buy ratings here. So some bullishness despite the price target decreases from D.A. Davidson, Citigroup, and Scotiabank for CRWD. What a day, guys.
Well, looking at that CrowdStrike, thanks for bringing that to our attention. There's some upgrades. Thank you, Ms. Adara, for that. All right, so again, just another quick talk. Some people want to talk about what's up to JJ. I really liked IBM. IBM's been one of those names that I've been in, and it's been a slow grind for sure. It's if we call up a daily chart for this one, or even a monthly chart, it's not gonna. It doesn't look like Intel or any stretch of the imagination, but IBM here we go on a monthly chart. It still has to break out. I like the stock. It's been really great this year, but you can go all the way back. This is 2012 for IBM. So it's still where we were. So you close your eyes to wake up in 10 years, you'd be surprised. Hasn't done much. And I don't know, again, enough about the server side of things for IBM or what's going on with them and actually why they're not performing better. I thought they had an opportunity for sure to perform a little bit better than it seems like they have. That's IBM. But yeah, it looks like this stock, although Intel is the other way down here somewhere, IBM trying to break out. So I would look for a monster breakout on this one. There's a lot of people chasing IWM because it looks like it wants to break out, or did. Gold similarly as well. This is one name that I think still works in this space and still has room to go. So IBM, this is a weekly chart, or sorry, a monthly chart, right back up into here. You're talking about a decade long. I like IBM. We've been buying this name, and I've held it for a long time. So not proud to be like I'm a shareholder here. But it does pay a dividend. I think it was about 5%. I'm not sure what it is right now with that sort of appreciation in the stock price, but 3 to 5%, pretty confident to say it's in and around there. I like IBM. Not too many tech names will pay a strong dividend like that, but IBM does. So that's a reason for me to like the stock, IBM. And it looks like it does have some room to go, breaking through some of the highs. So just like you mentioned, Qualcomm, we have Cisco tonight. As old tech, once again, becomes new. We'll see if IBM can take that level out, 204, on a decade-long high.
Yeah, definitely some of those levels on watch. IBM, yeah, definitely missed that name on that list. But again, I kind of put it. It did have some strong moves off of the AI push, and when ARM and Intel were kind of moving around as well. But yeah, no, IBM definitely on watch as well. But again, ARM kind of my close, I guess. I hold it a little bit closer because of how fresh it is, how it's kind of in its infancy in terms of trading as a public company there as well. So 94 is now Starbucks, John. So it's like I gotta do more of this, more of this trading, more of this kind of trading when I'm a little bit more focused in the morning there. Waiting for things to come in. Sure, you lose on this one, and then it finally starts to work on the back through that, or failure to follow through of opening price at 95.40s, and we're trading all the way down to 94.30s, 94.15s. I was sitting at there. But yeah, no, pretty nice bit of reversion here. We kind of put that line on the chart, just simple. Can this strength kind of break, and can we do a little bit of a pullback? And we've pulled back into this prior consolidation that we did after we failed to follow through the open on Starbucks. But it's still interesting price action on the day. We're still holding above some of these levels. At 92, definitely. I mean, I was looking at it as a bit of an interesting level. And take a look at this consolidation, man. We consolidate on top of 92 for over an hour. We get these pops into prior day's anchored VWAP, again, anchored to the volume that comes in the pre-market off of, again, the whatever the catalyst was, news, event, whatever you want to call it, CEO switch up from CMG. We get that strength coming in, and that volume coming in with it. Interesting that we have strong volume bars before that comes in as well. So that action anchored off of that action, right? So anchored off of that action, we hold VWAP all day yesterday. Today we come in, we kind of violated a little bit, holding as a resistance in the morning and midday session, and then finally as the midday session comes to a close, we catch that strong bid to the upside and a bit of reversion back down as of right now. So let's see how far this one will get to. Again, with only about 25 minutes left there on the day, the NQs pulling back off of that 19.1. We talk about some of these price action moves, consolidation for over a couple of hours. This consolidation started at 1 o'clock, kind of attempts to break out of the consolidation close to 2. You push 19.1 and then you come right back into the range, false breaking the high of the range and continuing the trend from 19.2s back below 19.1s. And now we're testing, we're below consolidation lows and holding that as a bit of resistance at the 1960s area right here. Look at these lows right here. We flushed down into 1940. We bid up, holding those as some of those highs again going into the close. And look at that, Starbucks, hello, with that strength pushing right back in. So a trend break maybe potentially once again here happening on Starbucks off of this 94 hold. We couldn't even get to 94s, man. What was the low on that candle? 94.13s I have as the low here. A bit of a partial fill on that clip of the mid-teens there on above 94 on Starbucks. So let's see if that strength kind of continues going into the close. We saw that buying did come in interestingly going into the close on Starbucks, and it seems like maybe some buying coming in here as we get into the last half hour there, Sean. So people are asking in the chat what the early look is looking like on the market there. I do not have it up right here on with me, but what are you looking at?
I got you. Hold on a second. What am I looking at?
Yeah, no worries.
Much right now. But yeah, we just took another profit there alert on AMD. So we'll take a little piece out there as it falls back into 79 and 80. Just realizing that the 200 period's right there. I don't know if we're going to fall down or not. I see what Dan Emmons is saying. I do believe that we could crack lower, but the market's in charge, not me. So we'll just wait to see what winds up happening there. I'd like to participate in a downside move. And on that note right here, Palantir, I think that we could get out of this at 31. I mean, it's been a good trade. We're still long down here, like the stock. We sort of talked about that. Let's just see where it hits. Palantir to the downside. If it breaks this 80 level, I want to get out. So we're not even going to give it down here to 75. If it breaks 80, let's get out of Palantir and then just work off of that. Here comes AMD back in a little bit. I like that stock moving back in. Did you just ask me about a stock or what?
Imbalance.
Okay, imbalances. That's what I was going to say. I want to talk about something there. Was the imbalances. So here we go. Now, when you're talking about like a little bit of a flavor, one side or the other, I don't really think that there's too much on here as far as big names. Remember, these are only going to be New York related names today. So Under Armour is very small stock. Kenvue there as a small buy. Corning, GLW there, $40 name. So there's the sell imbalance. Maybe we just sort of got some of that action right there as that sort of fell off of a cliff. Other than that, man, Schwab is on here. And these are just market on close imbalances. So these will all, at 350, they'll become public knowledge, at which point stocks will start to trade around those numbers because you can then start to offset those trades. So what that means is that out of nowhere, you'll be seeing, little bids come in and sort of start to counteract this. So if someone wants to come and buy some Corning, this is a good opportunity today to say there's going to be 1 million shares to sell at the close. So if you kind of want to quietly hop in there and maybe start to buy some GLW, you can offset that. So if you're looking to pick up 100,000 shares, you could put your market on close buy order in and offset this 1.1 million to put it down to 1 million. And that way it will have minimal market impact because then the direct market maker that's on the floor of the NYSE will just match you guys at the closing price. So as long as there's the right amount of bids and offers to match each other up, That's how the closing imbalance works. And so there you go. So it's starting to sort of change up again as Citigroup. All of a sudden, someone puts in there a bid to buy some Citigroup. So that comes in there as a 700,000 share buy order. All right, that's what we're doing right now as we continue to watch out for these markets and what's happening. Citigroup, nice move up there. AMD fell in just a little bit. Tesla, a lot of talk around that 200 level. I like the stock breaking through 200. I said it's a little bit better breaking back down near the day's low. I don't know if it's something that you want to test with right now, but that could be something to look at. Tesla trying to get a little lower here into the close. A name that's been pretty weak all day. If you're going to short something, I can't disagree with shorting a weak name. So Tesla on radar for a short.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking at some of these tickers here, Mag 7s and some of the other names that I had on watch. Pretty much sideways there, Sean. Apple sideways. Again, I guess we'll go through these tickers as I'm talking about them. Oh boy, here comes 94s back in on Starbucks here. So interesting. We're catching a bit of that sell. That pop didn't really follow through. It's perfectly fine. We can sit on that one a little bit for the next 10 minutes and see how these imbalances treat us.
So the SIGA's moving again.
Yeah, so I guess that's something I kind of missed as well. Fresh news this morning, right? I guess, or intraday even, yeah.
Just started going around 115. It looks like 125, 130 was where the volume came in on this one. So there goes SIGA. Again, taking out new levels. We've already zoomed out here and we have seen nothing. So, I mean, we can go all the way. I mean, I guess I can zoom back even more to see if there is anything that develops here on SIGA. Wow, okay. So, I mean, all right, so this is COVID, I'm guessing, 2022. So a nice move to the upside, pops into 27, fades all the way back down into $4 or $5. This is what happens. And then now, more talk here about different vaccines, Ebola, so on and so forth, coming through for that Mpox. GOVX, I believe, is another name here, $3. So this is one that also looks like it wants to go through now, starting to break higher as well. So there goes GOVX, so very similar stuff happening across the board. What's up, Adara?
Another smaller name making a move right now heading into the close near high of days is BioAlta, BCAB. This afternoon, we did hear from the Form 13F filing here that Michael Burry, Scion Capital Management here from Michael Burry, has now had a stake of over 600,000 shares here in BCAB, BioAlta. They do as well have a short float of about 8%. So Michael Burry taking a stake in BioAlta, getting a little bit of a volume pop as we push into the close, guys.
Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's definitely going to catch a little bit of a bid if people following Burry's kind of trades. I'm just checking the volume it's been doing today. 2.7 million, 2.8 million almost, when it has an average daily volume of 870K. Yeah, that'll definitely move the ticker around here. I'm looking at day low at $1.32. We're trading at $1.37 as of right now. Nice little trend up there. But yeah, Starbucks slammed through that 94. We're coming into 93.70. So talk about a reversion trade. Oh boy, this was the one I had to stay a little bit patient for a little earlier, and it really does come in quite nicely. They're accelerating into the close. They're pulling right back into VWAP. 93 halves as of right now is VWAP. We're trading at 93.70s, only about 20 pennies, about a quarter away from that mark there. So we're going to take a quick look at the Mag 7 going into the close there. Again, about 17 minutes left in the trading day here. So Apple pretty much sideways. Softy pretty much sideways. Google sold off a little bit in the first 45 minutes, and then pretty much sideways. Amazon, pretty much sideways as well. Nvidia, we already know this one, pretty much sideways, trading within its, I mean, the opening range was quite wide there. That was absolutely crazy. 114s all the way to 118s, 118s and change, and we're trading at 117, so well within range on that one. I want to check out this guy over here as well. Berkshire, again, another top constituent of the markets that we usually tend to forget there, and a little bit of an uptrend happening on Berkshire as well. Let's take a quick look at Tesla. Tesla selling off. Downtrend is a little bit more, I guess, dominant, not really as sideways as some of these other tickers, but yeah, take a look at this. Over the past roughly, what is this? Past a couple of hours, almost 3 hours, we have been pretty much sideways, holding in and around 200 on Tesla. So yeah, looking very similar to these here markets, pushing a sideways action after a strong day yesterday, right, Sean? So it's like, are we going to get that leg up consolidation? We're looking for that leg up continuation tomorrow. I have no idea, but it seems like we've been bidding up overall since that Monday drop down that happened last week. That's absolutely crazy, man. Like,
I know.
I know. What were your thoughts? Like you were away on vacation. I
had no
when
thoughts.
When did you hear about it? Were you like, oh damn, am I buying more around here, or like what?
Yes.
Like yeah.
To all of that.
Yeah.
No, I mean honestly, I didn't really. I wasn't sitting there watching, so I had really quite clueless, to be honest with you. I mean, I could see it because I mean I have the apps and everything, and I could see that there was blood in the streets, but I didn't really call up any names and be like, it's buying opportunity. We're walking around the city there and trying to get it all figured out. Because again, 5 hours ahead.
Yes.
There, so a little bit of a different time.
So you should have told us it was coming.
I did know it was coming. I got it. I was getting in trouble being on watching some of you guys trading there. Okay, we do have a new position. So I'm short the market here. I did short the TQs into the close. We just bounced into, again, VWAP right there. So we're going to try that short, and not going to be for very long, just until we spike up above here and get stopped out. So we're going to wait to see if this market wants to give us some love back in for the short. Just short right here, right now. I was actually going to give this to like 45, 46 just to see. Little bit of a trade here, not like a crazy heavy one. Let's just see where it wants to go. We're right at a close area to get stopped out. So with only 4 minutes to go before imbalances is never, I say this and like be seriously, like it's never a great idea to be into a trade here as these imbalances come out. So we've already sort of gotten some out here on AMD at this low side now as it's starting to go up. I don't have any more like averages in or nothing. Well, we're just going to ride with what we have. If these imbalances come out now in 5 minutes, 4 minutes, we'll just see what they hit, what they are, and how we can trade against them. So that's going to be sort of my plan here for these imbalances, and just get some of the orders set up to punch out if we have to and whatnot, and just work on it from there. So hopefully we'll be able to hold out hope that the market turns around on these imbalances. Amazon, still 75 cents in the money. I thought I had a stop on Amazon, but I guess it was on Palantir that we put. So just looking to see, what if Amazon breaks here, 169.85. So let's just put that in right now, 169.86 on a stop to get out of everything, which might happen even before this bell hits at 350. So we'll wait to see if that happens, which is all good, man. We're 70 cents in the money. This was a great short for us. We only have that 10% left. We were looking for the lower bid there, but didn't come through. So we'll wait to see if that hits. Other than that, man, short the market. We already have our Palantir stop if it breaks below here, breaks below 80s, so that could hit at any time. And then AMD, just kind of dancing with it here a little bit. We'll put let's just put a bid right here. As AMD falls in, there we go. We'll take a 97. We'll go dropping down a little bit of cash on that play because that's what it is. It's a good play there for AMD, hitting the short, holding a little bit here into what is going to be the imbalances hitting very, very shortly. Yeah, so here we go. There we go. Thank you, Volky there. You know what's not in balance? Supporting this fantastic stream. Make sure you guys do get in there, hit the like, hit the subscribe, be part of it all, man. Me and Obi going through a lot of different names, having a lot of great conversation and a lot of fun. So thanks, Obi, for being here. Looks like Neil will be back in the building tomorrow, which would be nice to see him as well. He's got that Aircast on. So
yeah, that should be interesting.
Yeah, it should be very.
I wonder if Nike makes it.
They do not, but that would be cool if they did. So
speaking of which, that Nike curling back down. I mean, it tried to break prior day's high. Didn't really come in, sideways action now, but should be interesting tomorrow. We've pretty much double topped on a multi-day here, back-to-back days on Nike. Let's take a quick look at that 15-minute chart here on Nike. Look at that, boom, boom.
Oh, imbalances.
Right here, imbalances out right now. Right now?
No, early. No, it's 348. That just moved upside there against us.
So a little bit of a push.
Yeah, go ahead.
A couple minutes before, but yeah, take a look at this this chart here, Sean, and strength on day one. Look at that relative volume coming in as well. Strong push on Nike. 79s are the highs. What was yesterday's high? 79.05. Today we go 4 pennies above that. 79.09. Only trading 4 pennies above prior day's highs, and we're holding some of these levels from yesterday. So the question becomes: are we going to continue? Does this buying pressure kind of hold going into the rest of the week? We're taking a quick look at the taking a look at the weekly chart. Sean, take a look at this, man. This is the weekly. This is Nike. The breakout through 75 has been what 1, 2, 3, 4 well, not multi-month, but like multi-week breakout through that level, breakout through 77s as well. Again, aggressive selling, which I'm going to assume this was off of earnings there. I kind of remember trading it for the push below this 80.34 there as well. So yeah, was that earnings? I'm pretty sure that was earnings. That was earnings. Yeah. So strong selling off of earnings. We play the continuation off of the open there. And we've been kind of trading sideways, but finally some strength coming in as of yesterday, breaking past a lot of these horizontal resistance levels that we're kind of stepping down on Nike. 69.82 is the low of this consolidation. We're printing a little bit higher with, again, today's high 79.9s, double topping yesterday's highs at 79.05. Should be an interesting look going forward if this strength kind of continues. Again, bigger picture, we did sell off quite aggressively on earnings, and it seems like we're doing a little bit of a reversion of this. So look at this on the daily right here. Daily high is at 79.05. So triple confluence there, Sean. As that gap down high is 79.05. Yesterday's high is 79.05. Today's high is 79.09. Coming into tomorrow, let's see if we can push past this 80 mark once again here on Nike. Maybe we do get a gap fill all the way to 93. So that would be surprising, but a little bit of volume coming in. Nike's going to be on watch for potentially a technical push throughout the week here. If we do get past that 79s, I might actually throw up an alert right now on that, just above that 79, just to see if it comes in. But could be something interesting. Strong action on the day, both yesterday and today. Oh boy, look at that NQ, man. While I was talking, I didn't even realize that NASDAQ rips up
for today, but there it is right now, 1.4. Dare just told us it's 1.4 billion to sell, but the NASDAQ is 830 million to buy right now. Look at Nvidia really starting the show right there with NVDA. Look at that big bid coming through right there. So it's a nice move to the upside. Microsoft also with a nice little bid. What is that doing to the NASDAQ, you may say? Well, it did take out some of those highs. So we got something out of the TQs before that, so we sort of talked about that. I don't know if someone got wind of that, but the market started to go up just a little bit before 350, and there it is, man. Oops, that's I saw Apple. Where's Apple? Nvidia, there's Apple right there. Look at Apple, 222 taking out highs right now as well. Nvidia just grew a little bit bigger, so I'll try to buy some right here in the 50. Or what did I get? 49s. 49s here on Nvidia to see if this one wants to continue to go. Remember, we get a turnaround at 350. 355, sorry, yeah, is when they'll start to pair off a little bit. So let's see if that can get a little exciting again for Nvidia. If we could top it up here with like a 25 cent, we'll put an offer at 75, then we'll put another offer at 118. See if we can take this. It's not a huge position. We don't ever like to mess around too much here, Obi, into the close because we don't ever know what's going to happen. And it's hard to use levels for concern when you're just going to be sort of, I guess, a slave sort of to these numbers because like 10%, 10 million there, 3 million there, it's already paired off 12 million of interest already in the same. So I don't know if it's going to go upside or downside, but for right now, Nvidia is trying to go up on that number. So I think this could flip around though at 355. So we'll hold out. Maybe we can get up to 75 right now and get that going. So that's what I'm trying to get here with Nvidia. No real stops. Let's just see what winds up happening. Here it goes. Nice little move to the upside right now for NVDA.
Yeah, so people in the chat were like, oh yeah, we're talking through the imbalances. Yeah, I kind of pull up the imbalances. NVIDIA with the strong buy, nothing else really kind of happening there, but I see that that's kind of starting to work for you as we pull back up through that 19.1 on the NASDAQ here going into the close. Again, only about 8 minutes or 7 minutes left now until the closing bell here. And let's see what you guys are saying. Make a poll on SIGA for aftermarket. Okay. I don't think I can, I don't know if I can make
We'll cover SIGA.
We're definitely going to be covering that today. Terra Engineering saying that weird that AMD is down more. Their Zen 5 9950X is a complete dud. Yeah, no, I haven't been following along in terms of their processors. I distinctly remember their bulldozer had a huge hype, And that definitely got excavated real quick.
Ouch.
That idea for the bulldozer processor. I remember that. That was pretty funny. Again, I've always been a bit of an Intel Nvidia fanboy, and I know that AMD did kind of lead for a little bit there, but you can't put past the reliability of some of these Nvidia chips. Sure, they get a little hot here and there, but you know, it is what it is. When you're processing significant amounts of data and significant graphics as well, I'm going to expect a little bit of heat, you know, heat to be brought to the table, literally with those Nvidia cards. But yeah, no, Starbucks still holding this VWAP. VWAP was 93 halves. Beautiful. It's still going, dude.
Yeah, I know. It's still going.
Let's go.
So we actually took 2 outs there. One at 65, one at 75. Now we're going through 90. So here we go, man. It's
That's
a 50-cent winner right there to go. And we just did something pretty simple, man. All we did was just noted that this was growing. They're growing again at 354, getting ready for 355. We're already out at 2/3 of this one. We're kind of playing with house money. Let's see how high we want to go right now. There you go. Wow, 5 million. Wow, they are buying more of the NASDAQ. Look at the NASDAQ going back into these levels. Great day to be a bull, it seems like here, for the NASDAQ. Afternoon to be a bull, actually. We're just getting green right now. There it is, NVIDIA continuing to climb higher and higher here into the close. Oh boy, Obi. You know, this right here, man, is 70 cents. 70 cents.
Yeah.
In the money, 70, we might make it.
Is that buy and balance actually grew?
No,
you said it grew?
I'm getting too excited. I got to get out.
It's about to, I mean, it did pair. 55.30s right now, so it's not.
Ooh, I just offered 14s and it missed me. Oh, we got it on the way back.
Let's go. Nice trade.
Oh, yeah.
Imbalances?
Like having you here, Obi. Yeah, there it goes, man. Nice move there for NVIDIA. 117.50. Nice out there on the last third. There it is. Talking about real trading. I mean, this was a trade that I put on. Again, all the trades I'm putting on are in front of you, and we're trying to explain to you why we have them and so on and so forth. But that one made sense, right? We had that bid imbalance. We talked about it. Now Apple, some of those other names pairing off. This one actually grew. So let's just put that in our cap and figure that out for next time. You could see Apple continuously going. I don't see Apple on here anymore, but that's continuously going.
Yeah.
Google at
Softy's about to break high a day, or it did already.
Google
as well.
Look
Google breaking consolidation highs.
Google. This is $1.50 or more, $2 straight up to the upside right there on Google, as if today didn't even happen. If Intel's catching a bid, then you know this is a good one. Intel not catching a bid, but I thought it was a minute there. Snowflake's another name that I've been bought recently. Our average price is around 130 and change. We'll have to find out more about that. I'll talk about that tomorrow. But there's Snowflake with a nice little bid as well. Where's our friend Palantir finishing the day? $31, right where we got spanked. Right there, we just got a piece out at 90. So that was a good recovery there for Palantir, but that was a bad opening trade for us there today. So yeah, man, good trading there on NVIDIA to end the day. Good trading on Amazon. Not great trading on, well, TQs is still fine, but we did get stopped out right there. Look at that blow to the upside. Good move for the TQs and the NASDAQ. Will the NASDAQ be green today? What do you think, Obi? We're up 0.1 right now.
I think with this kind of close and about 3 minutes left, hard to tell. We're right there.
I'm going to say no.
We're right there.
We're right there. We're right there.
We're right there.
Either way, it's a good one right there. Again, so Obi there, holding positions, like we've talked about there, getting those reps in. So getting into the close.
The 95 back through that, again, failure to follow through of the opening price, plus a trend break.
Beautiful, yeah.
And then back through 95 as well. I have to stay patient for this kind of price action to show up. And the funny thing is, we bid up quite strongly since when? What is that? 1 o'clock all the way to 3. So that's a 2-hour-long bid, and then you revert to VWAP. VWAP being 93 half. So it was very, very distinct when it did start to come down. And sure, it wasn't distinct on the way up. Had to try a couple of times, but again, trying to take the better reps, getting ready for tomorrow. Again, tomorrow's going to be interesting as well, especially with the market closing like this. All day strong yesterday, sideways consolidation, break of consolidation highs in the last 5 to 10 minutes, pushing up extremely, not extremely aggressively, but definitely aggressively on a few of these names, breaking consolidation highs, breaking higher days there after trading sideways for over 3 hours. So definitely a little bit of offside there. Let's see if that continues. That bid, we were talking about that bid catching from last Monday. Seems like it's still here a little bit. on these tickers here. We talk about, again, Nvidia 100.
Wild.
Nvidia is 118.
I was going to show you. I have Phil's down
We
here.
don't know
at
if we're going to get that
114.
100 again.
114, dude.
Yep.
This morning. Anyways.
Who knows?
What's up? Hey, Davis, and everybody else. Venu, any thoughts on Cisco for the $5 super chat? Thank you so much.
2,000 lots, 94s on Starbucks.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right, so Cisco. Yeah. So my opinion on Cisco, we only have a minute to go right now, and I'll have to hit the countdown, then I'm going to fly over to the other side. Look, underneath the 50 period, underneath the 200 period, I don't like the stock. I mean, if it's not performing well, it's not performing well. It obviously got hit pretty hard there the last couple of days, still under the 50 period. I mean, unfortunately, I really like Google, and that looks the same as this. Google's even breaking lower. I would be weary of this. I don't really like the stock until you get above the 200 period moving average. So hard to make a prediction into earnings. My computer's working like super hard over here, by the way, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe a lot of data coming through here for the charts into the close, but only 15 seconds left. So Vanu, thank you for that. I don't like the stock. It could perform well. Earnings is a very tough one to judge. So, okay, Obi, I'm gonna get out of the way.
Yes, sir.
We'll say bye to you and see you tomorrow, but we only have 2 and 1. The market is now closed.
All right,
Right, Obi,
thank
take it
you,
over. I'll
Sean.
see you
Take care. Thanks again for a great day. Kind of, I took a couple days off. Wasn't I guess trading on Monday, Tuesday. Was watching from the sidelines. Crazy action this week. Crazy opportunities. Definitely have to got back into the mojo here. Didn't trade well this morning at all, and definitely got back into the groove with some of these Starbucks shorts and I guess a Nike long as well. Again, not trading the best in the morning session, but taking a little bit of better decisions going into middle to the later half of the day there. And Nike, oh boy, what was that? You guys saw that? That little push up into Nike. So somebody is definitely, okay, so Nike is breaking that 80. We talk about that 79 and change. Take a look at that. Something's going on with Nike, guys. And I know it's not earnings because we just had them. Oh boy, take a look at that action. Nike is squeezing from 79 to 81 halves, 82s. Some news on Nike, guys. Definitely something fresh and clean coming out of that Nike, and it does not look like those Air Force Ones, but we're definitely headed to the upside with catching a little bit of air on that one there. But I think they are ready for me at the desk there, so don't go anywhere, guys. It's been great. I'll see you guys around. Tomorrow, Neil is back, but right now, Adara and Sean at the big desk for Market Recap. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one.
Goes ready to rock and roll. Thank you, Obi, for that one as we come through to the closing show. Adara, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
What's up with that Nike? All right, hold on a second. Just come over here quickly to my screen.
I'm not seeing anything on Nike, guys. I've been looking into it. All I'm seeing are those rumors that they want an activist CEO as of this morning.
That was, yeah.
That's what it was this morning. There's very little social media attention on it either. I'm not really sure what's happening here, guys. Still looking into it.
Why can't that pop when we go long on Nike? But there it goes, a nice little move to the upside there on Nike. Nice move, $81. Look, in my own personal account, we're long Nike. We've got the Air Max 90s on right now as well. So we support Nike through and through. You guys know that. Nice move there for NKE. Starting to go right now. If we flip over to the daily chart on Nike, you could see, man, we've been buying it down here. Nice little pop up above the 50 period. Can we fill that gap to 91? Maybe we'll ask Chris Bretcher, who's coming through very, very soon, to do all of that with us. But we do wait for the big earnings report coming out from Cisco. We'll wait to see what this name wants to do. We've got a question on this at the end of the day. Again, short float non-existent, 1.1%. Market cap only 190 billion. Still not bad, but has been getting hit pretty good there on Cisco, now near some levels of importance as we get to 52-week lows now on Cisco, looking to break lower on earnings. We'll keep our eyes posted for that. Adara is right beside me, and we'll have that as we come through very, very soon.
Okay, I got the Nike news. Thank you. Darwin said this in the chat. I just got it confirmed as well on the wire. I wanted to wait for it to confirm before I said anything. We do have an SEC filing showing that Bill Ackman's Pershing Square Capital has reported a current stake of 3.04 million Class B shares in Nike. They've been involved in the past as well. So a bit of a Nike purchase here for Bill Ackman and Pershing Square. Nike, I guess, could be on watch tomorrow as well, guys.
I like it, man. I mean, we initially were in Starbucks and Nike due to key levels, and all of a sudden we got activist movement in both of those names. So we're really happy to get that on Nike. We still will wait for Cisco. Look, today was a very, very interesting day led by many different names. There's Nike there, still going up $81. We'll see what winds up happening. Let's go over to a 3 or 5. Let's go to a 3-minute chart here. Look at this drop down on Nvidia that happened early, man. We started the day rocking and rolling, really, with Nvidia much higher than where we were the day before. We closed yesterday at 116.75 or so. Made the move in, 116. We closed there at 116.15 yesterday. Pre-market levels, 117. Makes its way all the way to 119 on that CPI print. But then once the market opens, it's see you later to Nvidia all the way to the downside. But guess what? We find a home down in 114, 115, which was a sticky note level. Brought all the way back up, closing near the highs, obviously, before we opened up, near the highs of the day for Nvidia as that keeps on going again. 2 weeks today, Adara, we have market recap madness with Nvidia coming through.
And CrowdStrike the same night too, and CRM and Affirm. I'm excited.
And Affirm that
all in the same night. All 4 names: CrowdStrike, Nvidia, Affirm, CRM on Wednesday the 28th. That's going to be wildness.
That is going to be wild.
I'm
We'll
excited.
wait for Cisco right now at 405 coming through. That's going to be an amazing day, so we'll wait for that. Neil, I believe, on Wednesday, so he'll be doing that one. That should be a lot of fun. We also wait for earnings reports from Alibaba, I believe, coming tomorrow morning. This could be an exciting name.
We got Cisco.
We've got Cisco. They're very excited about Cisco, and I like to see that. There it is right there. Nice little bang move there for Cisco. Decent numbers apparently being reported for Cisco. Nice move to the upside. We just said that looks sick on the daily chart. I think it does, but there's the push up. Venu asking me in the chat about this. Up to 46.70. It looks like Cisco trying to go. Adara, what numbers do we have for Cisco? Because taking out 47 as we speak.
Well, they did beat here for revenue and earnings per share. Revenue coming in $13.6 billion. Analysts were looking for an 13.53 billion. So again, they reported 13.6 billion. That would be a beat. Earnings per share here, they reported adjusted earnings of 87 cents per share. Analysts were looking for 85 cents per share. That would also be a beat. They also said they announced a restructuring plan as well today. In terms of their outlook, they're seeing adjusted earnings per share for fiscal Q1 25. Q1 2025, I guess they're going into fiscal 2025 now. They're seeing earnings of 86 to 88 cents per share. Analysts were looking for earnings of 85 cents per share, so higher EPS guide than expected. Their revenue guide for fiscal 2025 coming in here 55 to 56.2 billion. Analysts were looking for 55.68 billion, so kind of in between there. Their Q1 revenue guidance here coming in a little bit mid as well. 13.65 billion to 13.85 billion versus estimates of 13.71 billion. So just to recap, a little bit middling here, their guidance for fiscal Q1 and fiscal 2025 revenue. However, they beat for revenue and earnings per share for the current quarter, and their guidance for the next quarter for EPS beat estimates as well, guys.
Great job. Thank you, Adara, for all of that quick recovery there. That was a good one. Covering up Cisco. You could see, man, what a move. Now up 5%. Cisco, $48 and trying to go higher and higher and higher here. Cisco in your after hours. The big report comes out. It's Cisco. If anything else hits, we will be all over that one again. So thank you, Adara, for bringing that to our attention. Cisco.
They declared a dividend as well.
And there's a dividend.
40-cent dividend.
40-cent dividend there for Cisco. So that's going to also help that name continue to go higher. Sitting on $21 billion in cash goes Cisco, goes bump in the night up to $48. There's the move on the daily. That's the number we're looking for, man. $49 right there, the 200 period moving average. Venu in the chat, you asked me about it. That's a good take. Nice upside move for Cisco. Is that having any effect on anything else? Pan W, some of the other cybersecurity names. Let's just check out to see if that's doing anything. Nah, they're all going to be by itself there. Cisco, again, server side, but also into networking and security. Cisco, not doing anything with CrowdStrike, 256. CrowdStrike, a good day, man, today, up 3.4%. All right, let's just go through a couple names that we're moving around. We will talk about some of the indexes. Not too much action on the indexes. We talked about the real estate yesterday with Brian Shannon, but today, ahead of CPI, we were all a little uncertain of what was going to happen, but you can see today, Nvidia with a nice move. A steep market-wide drop early at 8:30 created some of this action. A lot of it led by Google. Google was down 4% at one point. CPI year over year under that 3%, 2.9. That was pretty important to see. Sharp moves downside. We did get some upside moves in SIGA, SIGA, and GOVX. due to some of that monkeypox, Mpox, and Ebola talk. There's Tesla down there, down 3%. Not a great day for Tesla. Eli Lilly up 2.6%. Google weakness, man. That's sort of what kept the NASDAQ down pretty much all day before popping at the end. Reports that the DOJ is looking to break up the company with concerns about their overall dominance, both on the search space, on Chrome, and with Android operating system. They're a little nervous about that. Like as if, I do understand why they're nervous. You want to have competition. You don't need monopolies. But hey, man, I'm down with breaking up Google if they want to. Definitely not a good sign, though, when you have the DOJ breathing down your neck. I thought Walmart wasn't pretty good today, up 0.78. We'll talk about that in a minute. XOM as well, with an oil release at 10:30. Starting to head to the upside. UNH today, nice move as well. So those are just some highlights. Netflix up 2, Oracle up 1, IBM looking to break out through of that decade-long move on IBM. Quick look back in on Cisco. If there's any other reports, let me know. I am right here for all of you. You're asking to look at Nike. Bang. Man, oh man, do we like Nike, man. We've been buying this one in our own personal account for a while, averaging into it, buying Nike down there into $70. Good move now for NKE, up through $82. The reason why we don't want to celebrate too much, it's just a brand new position from Bill Ackman, so that's nice to hear. It's kind of funny how these guys can pump their books, you know. It's like, oh, I just took a position in this. Let's see. Then boom, pop up 5% on 3 million shares. You take that, you retire. Well, that's not enough to retire on, but nice move up there for Nike today, taking out the 50-period moving average. I think you get excited at 90. We just had that move in Starbucks as well. We had Starboard and Elliott taking positions in Starbucks, and look at that move upside. But that was not caused by activism. That was caused by, well, I think that they definitely had a hand in it. So did Howard Schultz, former CEO, but bringing over Brian Nickel from CMG, CMG there, Chipotle coming through and then making that high. What a wild day it was for Starbucks. That was nuts. I know
that breakdown. I took that low of day short. That was fun.
I saw you doing that at 92. I was a little nervous, but you did have it all the way downside. I was in and out there at 92 if you come over to the screen. I really like that 92 area. We'll see about it tomorrow. We had written down on the sticky note 96 short. That was something that we'd want to take. So if we get any love back there for Starbucks, I think the 95, 96 area short would be a good one for us on that. So yeah, those are some stories that have been happening for us right now here today. Other interesting spots, MSOS as some of the marijuana stocks, I guess, start to catch a bid. I don't know if any of these VPs, I mean, I was out of it last week when Kamala announced her partner. I don't even remember who it is now.
Tim Walz.
W-A-L-Z.
Tim Walz. A-L-W-Z.
Z, yeah, exactly.
Kind of a cool dude. I like him.
Is he
okay? A little
okay?
Midwestern dad type guy. I don't know. He's kind of funny.
Is he a puff, puff, pass kind of guy? Do we hear anything about marijuana?
I'm not. He's like from the Midwest. He was a high school football coach. I don't know.
Probably not then. Okay.
I like him. He's pretty, I don't know. He's pretty chill.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Too bad not from California or something. All right, nice move up to 816 there, like Kamala. So we'll see what winds up happening there. MSOS, your number one ETF name today in the sector, up 4%. Gas, I mean, finally trying to catch a bid. We've talked about that as we get through the summer months into winter. Summer gas prices obviously cheaper, so we had that turnover earlier on. UNG, though, Widowmaker, we don't really necessarily love that name. Berkshire today with a nice little bid. You saw Apple catching a bid. Some of the bank stocks also upside, including XLF today. Look at XLF. There's a few things that are starting to think about breaking out again. And XLF, what a dip down into $40. Now back to 43, looking to take out highs again for XLF. The most exciting sector for me, though, right now, and as you know, we're going to have Chris Bretcher coming through very, very soon. He could probably talk a little about this because I know that he was just had in and out of some surgeries. Healthcare. I mean, as we go, man, we need more healthcare in every country. Healthcare ETF, XLV, right now breaking out. This is a name that I like. I like XLV. Eli Lilly, AbbVie, many names in this. Merck. We can go.
Berkshire Hathaway just bought Ulta Beauty. Sorry.
Damn, Berkshire.
Yeah.
All these names now. A lot of valuations coming in right now.
Added just under 700,000 shares. Sorry to cut you off there. Just wanted to let you know because I saw the chat talking about it, but I didn't want to say anything until I saw the news myself.
Apology accepted. Just playing around.
Thank you.
No, interrupt all the time. There's Ulta Beauty. Nice little move there to 361 off that bottom of 321. If you're going to look at Ulta Beauty, is it too late to buy Ulta Beauty? No, it is not. Look at it, coming into a nice little area, back to 2021 area lows. Nice buy opportunity down there for Berkshire. Again, the game is rigged. Do not forget about that. A big name like Berkshire can come out and just simply say they bought it. Stock goes up. You know, that's what the market is. It doesn't have to be fair, but it is what they do. Nice move there for Alta. Let me check out what it looks like on a 1-minute chart. Boom goes the dynamite, 330 straight up there, 10%. For nothing the company did whatsoever except for get buyers involved. I like Elf Cosmetics for that play, so we may have to check out some Elf. This name's also been beat up again. More Chinese there for Elf, downside move. You know, it hasn't been a healthy move for some of these cosmetic plays, including Ulta Beauty, but that is best of breed, so no surprise there that Berkshire, and I don't know, Warren's sitting on the most cash they've ever been on in Berkshire.
Oh, so much cash.
So I don't know, man. The guy collects $400 million a quarter from Apple, so I don't really know what's going on there. But the game is definitely rigged and not in favor of the small investor. That's why we always do talk about potentially getting involved with ETFs instead of individual names. If you can't stomach some of the moves, that's something to look at, ETFs instead. We have Alibaba coming tomorrow, FXI, something interesting to watch out for. Here's Alibaba on a daily chart. I think this is a sleeping giant, so we'll wait to hear about it. I would love to buy more of this down here in the 70s. Alibaba above the 50, above the 200 wants to go. A good report from these guys. I honestly think 90 is intact. We'll talk about maybe buying some call options for Alibaba tomorrow. I think there's a big opportunity for Baba. Before we go over to Chris Bretcher, because I don't make these guys wait for very long. Not when I have someone like Chris. I haven't seen Chris in a minute, so we're going to say hi to him and see if he is doing well. That is for sure. But there's SIGA today on the smallpox, monkeypox, Ebola pox, Mpox, pox in general, coming into play there. Nice move today. Upside. Is it doing anything in the after hours? Not really. GOVX, another name, flat here in the after hours. We want to put that poll up about it, and we didn't do that, which is fine. Nike still holding high, up to $82. And one quick look at Cisco before we go over. Again, Cisco up 6% here into the day. Let's bring him on. It's Chris Bretcher. Let's go with Trader Talk. Well, hello, Chris. How are you doing?
Fine. How are you doing?
I'm always doing pretty good. I feel like a little bit of a headache today, so I'm not sure. Trying to battle that, but drinking a lot of water to go through. Any tips for headaches?
No, but you were looking at healthcare and pot stocks, so maybe you can find some cocktail between there.
Yeah, you're probably right. One of each. All right. So as we go, Chris, I mean, pretty exciting day today. Obviously, we had quite a volatile open there. I don't know if you were caught trading anything. Did anything in your world trigger that kind of a drop? I mean, I was trying to go long. I thought CPI came in a little cooler than expected, which is supposed to be nice for the market. Battled back a little bit. We saw that huge move yesterday off PPI. Anything that you were looking at this morning that maybe we could have sniffed out that little bit of a dip down, especially in a name like Nvidia?
No, not really. I'll tell you, though, we've been really right for months about this, and we talked about this last month, about the Dow Jones Commodity Index. And if that goes down, then the CPI is probably going to be cooler than expected. And that's been working. So let me put up the Dow Jones Commodity Index so you could see it. And I think it was up a lot today. So let me find it in here.
Remember you, Chris, just for, and while you find it, I do remember you talking about that. So you definitely had brought that to our attention. We should have maybe looked at that a little bit more, but let's go back to your screen now that you found it.
Yeah, so back here, when it kept going straight up, the CPI was hotter than expected because the CPI is, a month look back. So now that we had this, we thought the CPI wouldn't be hot, but really, the markets went down because they were worried about the economy. So I don't know why the CPI would matter anyway. But, we had warned about the Nikkei acting so poorly that the U.S. markets would start to listen.
Right.
And so that's what happened. Now, just so you know, it looks like it's Cisco powered everything up after the close.
And sorry, Darryl just mentioned to me about some of these names as well coming through. Look, that was a great call by you on looking at, and I think you're right about CPI. Does it really matter? I mean, are we not already scheduled for the Fed rate cuts? I always thought, Chris, that we're in a Fed rate cut cycle right now because apparently they're going to cut 50 and they might go again. We might even get a whole point by the time the year end is here. Isn't that supposed to mean that we're supposed to buy stocks when we're in Fed rate cut cycles now? We're no longer hiking, right? Should we not be buying everything on all of these dips?
Well, I think that Stock Traders Almanac has about that basically, well, two things. I'll give you two things. One of them is usually markets go down after the first rate cut, believe it or not.
Okay.
So that's one thing. The other is usually when stock markets have this kind of sell-off, you rally up to the moving average, the 50 moving average, and then you test a low at some time, but you don't have that reversal candle yet. And I thought I'd show you some examples of the MACD. But the other thing is what made markets go down. So what made markets go down is the Nikkei going down and that carry trade. So if the Fed cuts a lot, then you worry about the yen going up again, dollar going down, and then the Nikkei goes back down, and then the U.S. gets nervous with that carry trade. So basically, when interest rates are a lot lower in Japan, what's happening is people are borrowing the yen, selling it, and using that money to speculate. So if the Fed cuts too much, that's why I didn't think there would be an emergency rate cut when the markets were going down, because then the yen would go even higher.
I did hear, that's actually a very valid point. I did hear that. I was away in London, England last week, and I did even hear on the streets of London they were talking about an emergency rate cut. So that apparently did not happen. I think you're right about that. That might have been a bad sign for the economy. There are a lot of traders in the chat as well, Chris, that are agreeing with you. The first rate cut, we could start to see some heavy selling into that cut. So we'll wait to see when that does come through in September. All right, you sent me a message today, and I think that we're all about education here on the show. Let's talk about the MACD, a very popular oscillator that there's many traders like to use, but yet there's so much education out there online. You could watch YouTube videos and all that. Those are nice stories, but let's hear from a professional trader. How do you use MACD? What are some signals that you're looking for, indicators there to enter into trades or get out of them? Let's have a little Chris Brecher talk here on the MACD oscillator.
All right. Well, number one is I learned a lot of the MACD from a late colleague, Andrew Cardwell, who taught me a lot about this with positive reversals, negative reversals. And it's, rest in peace. He was a good guy. But I also used it many, many years before I met him with a chart service that used to publish the MACD that now isn't around because now you can get it all computerized. I had to, a long time ago, had to have it like Sunday night delivered. But there's a number of different ones. You can use an RSI, you can use a MACD, you can use a stochastic. I've used this on the bottom, this 3-10-16 MACD. So all that is, and you can have it the simple, you can use exponential, but the big deal is you don't want to sell in the hole. So what that means to me, and we were going over this, luckily real time, you know how pressure packed that is to do that, is when something gets oversold, like it did right when I got on this morning, it's all on how it works off that 15-minute oversold. That's what's been working with intraday charts. So if it works it off by being like, and what I mean by work it off is go back at least to the zero line, you want to see that still have a bearish structure.
Right.
So that's why when it sold off on the opening, we're like, I would not trust that until you see how it acts after it gets overbought. And as you see, it went straight up to a new high. And believe it or not, then the 5-minute worked as well. So here at 12:30, got oversold. Here it got oversold. So the whole idea is that you have to see how it works off that oversold. In fact, this way, and if you're on the site, I'm happy to always share this, is I show this all the time, is when I'm day trading, I'll use 4 time frames, 6 time frames, a 4-hour, a 1-hour, 15, 5, 2, and 1. And all of these got oversold on the opening. So that's one thing we watch. Definitely, and correlate other indexes. But that was one thing that you got oversold, and the working off of the oversold went to new highs. So that's why we didn't short. We call it shorting in the hole.
Yep.
But I want to show you on a daily, because I promised I'd show this, about when the MACD matters on a daily chart with the S&P. So the 3 and the 10 are just the simple moving averages on a 3 period and a 10 period, and the difference between them. So if the market's going straight up, then the 3 is going to be wider than the 10, and that red goes up on the bottom. And then if the red is higher than it was 16 days ago, the blue line's going to go up. So you can sort of forecast that, but I thought I'd make it easy for you because a lot are asking me on our site,
Good.
When does it work and when doesn't it work? And it's still an art, not a science.
Right.
But the thing is, a lot are like, oh, it's overbought here. You got to short it. No, you got to wait for turn number 1.
Yep.
But the key is, and then other people say, well, you short it when it crosses the blue line. Lots of people talk about that with the RSI or the MACD, but I'll show you. What's the difference between this failed, and I share these charts all day, is down here. When it failed, the markets were in big old uptrends. So it was over everything.
Right.
Also, the blue line was over 0. So then if you go back here, you might say, well, how about, and I'll show you, this was a good one right here. So as you see the difference, so the ES futures were under the moving average,
Right.
under that ATR trailing stop, and the blue line was under 0. So that crossover was more likely to work.
Mm. I feel like,
I mean, I'm always trying to adapt and see how all that works, and to say in the back test and be sure it still works, and it still does. And that brings me to now. And now what happened is you're overbought in a downtrend, and that's all fine. You might say, well, I want to short it. Well, there are two things. Number one, you want to see this have a reversal candle. Almost every sell-off and then rally comes back to resistance like it is now, but then has that big old reversal candle. And we haven't had those. All these have had red candles everywhere. Every single time it sold off after the first sell-off. Look, you didn't have it here. So you want to see those big red candles. And the problem is everybody wanted to short when the ES was 54.20. Now it's 54.80. So if it has a big red candle, everybody's going to say,
Right.
oh, I missed it, which that's where they wanted to short in the first place.
Chris, I think the one thing that remains consistent with everything that you're talking about, and this holds true to everything that I try to do as well, not one of these indicators are going to give you the all clear sign. You know,
Exactly.
You got to have different things lining up. And then when they do line up, it's worth a shot. You know, still make sure that you manage the risk. But you and I aren't going to sit here and say, when this happens, definitely do that. Everything's got to correlate. And that's why you could sometimes find 4 or 5 different time frames to make sure that you're confirmed on your trade. Not only that, but also analyze the risk that you're associated with it, right? So if you're going to have a daily trade, a swing trade, yeah, look at longer time frames. If you're just going to be scalping throughout the day, maybe that 1, 3, 5 chart frame might be good, as you were talking about the 3 and the 10, different indicators like that. So there's a little bit of a talk there on MACD. I know it's complicated and there are differing views on how well it works. But again, if you take indicators as spots of confirmation, then it's a little bit easier than just to say, oh my God, this happened, therefore I got to do that. Do your research. And then you also said back testing. I feel like that is very, very important to everything.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort to back test, and it helps you get a feel.
Right.
But it helps with all the stuff I talk about with like bear flags, is everybody wants to jump on a bear flag. The thing is, the bear flag results from an oversold condition.
Right.
So it's all on how it works off that oversold.
And then we get random things that happen in the market, like brand new CEOs, for example, where all of a sudden the next thing you know, Starbucks is up 25%, and you can't chart that. It just rips up. Starbucks, another huge name there. So I don't know if you've met this fine lady beside me, Miss Adara. She has a question for you.
Hi, Chris. Thank you for being here with us. I know one of the last times you were on here, you mentioned a potential gap filling and bear flag potential pattern here in the IWM. That was when it was a little bit strong compared to the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. Do you have any thoughts on the IWM now as we kind of near that 210 area again?
Oh, that's so cool you asked this. We were going over this today in the room, in multiple rooms. So a lot of times I dual broadcast so I can make a fool out of myself in as many places as possible. So in here, I'm looking at exactly what you're looking at. And I'm looking at that possible bear flag. But I don't trust bear flags as much, even though it's acting like garbage. I mean, no doubt. But I don't like to trust a bear flag against massive support. So if I saw a bear flag like here, back here, I'd much more trust it because it has, I call it an air hole on the downside, or here.
All right.
But here, there just seems like there's just too much support to trust.
I think the IWM there, thanks for going over that, Chris. A great question, Adara there. And I feel that you just got to be careful because like you just mentioned, if we're all buying the IWM because we're concerned or we think that rates are coming down, therefore it's better for some of these small cap sector names. What about that stat where the NASDAQ's falling down and the market's falling down on that first rate cut? I feel like there could be more ways to go. So we'll watch out for that bear flag, and we'll talk to you about that as we continue to go. Chris, where can everybody find you every day? You keep talking about these chat rooms.
Well, if I mess up, you could probably find me behind my desk, but overall in the Chart Patterns Mastery Room at Simpler.
Thank you so much.
Next week, I'm going to do a special 90-minute thing on the art of selling short in the main room, the central room.
Well, send me the link. Maybe I'll join you, Mr. Chris Brecher, and we can have some fun there, and we can both look smart or dumb depending on whether or not the stocks go up or down. Chris, thank you so much for thank you so much for everything and all your advices today. Thank you for going over some of those names, and especially the MACD. I know there's a lot of traders in our chat that do appreciate your knowledge and expertise. It's Chris Brecher from Simpler Trading's. Great to be back with you, my friend, and hopefully we'll see you very, very soon. Be well, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
It's great seeing you. Take care.
Ciao, that's Chris Brecher. All right, there's one thing left to do.
There is.
Let's go. It's roll call, baby. Often imitated every day at around 11 o'clock.
Okay, you're
By
throwing
Mr.
shade on our
Sharif.
show. Okay,
I'm not throwing shade on your show.
I see.
Often imitated.
It is
and
often
in a
imitated.
better way. I feel like you guys
he
bring a
does it
lot
little
of
differently,
heat.
yeah.
Sharif does it there. He has names for certain people.
Yeah, nicknames.
Big Kyle
Yeah.
Purdette. You guys have a lot of nicknames, and it's real fun and real cute. But we are often imitated, but never duplicated. But right now, let's go back to the original OG, and let's do a quick little roll call. We'll even hit it twice. Why not? It's our show. We do what we want around here, Dara.
Yeah,
there it goes right now, and thank you to Fabian for always setting it up. Look at this. Gets the chat rate on here right away as well. What's up to Bears vs. Bulls? It was a great guest. Shout out to Chris Brecher on the roll call as well. Bears vs. Bulls, you're here as well. Hey, Sebastian Sod is here as well. Fat Figa's here. Mahus is here. Charlie Taff is here. What's up, Charlie Taff? Rivian Millionaire. We were making millions on Rivian when it was around 18 bucks. Now it's falling back in. We need to get back up to that 18. And by millions, I mean maybe a couple $100. What's up, Trader Nick? He says, yo, go Lions. I'm on Raw there. I hope the Lions do well. But unfortunately, they're in the NFC Central or NFC North with the Green Bay Packers. Shout out to Adara as well. Neil Roberts, he'll be back tomorrow. Richard Fan is here. Zion Lala. Whoop, there it is. You're damn right about that, Zion. Eli's here as well. Rich Naples is here. Ari Page is here. Some sister from another mother type of thing is here as well. Donkey Trader. Sometimes we feel like that on the show. Not today. We had a good day today. VM Mark James says, sub Sean. Kind Reddy's here. Scrambled eggs. I like scrambled eggs on toast. We actually had some great scrambled eggs in London.
Really?
Yeah.
How do they season them?
The egg was just, you know when you get that yolk and it's like orange and it's just so fresh? It's not, it's farm eggs. Oh man, my wife crushed it. I had a proper English breakfast. I think it's on Twitter. I had, the sausage.
The bangers and mash.
The bangers and mash. Oh man. Anyways, forget about it. I better not stop talking about it. What's up, CompuCare team? Pillsbury, everybody else that is here. Thank you so much. Make sure you join us tomorrow when we have JC Peretz live on the show. He's going to be here in the building.
I'm so excited.
This is a quality
God.
tier A guest.
Yeah, I
to
know.
be here with Brendan. You seem overly
Well,
excited.
I just watched The Compound and Friends, and he was on with Joe Fahmy, and I really like what he has to say, and I'm very excited to see what he has to say tomorrow. I can't believe he's coming in person.
Bring a pen for an autograph.
That's what Ramin was joking, and
come-
honestly, I'm considering it because he's really cool, and I really like his charts.
You never asked me for my autograph.
I'm sorry. I can change that. I can get like a whole autograph book in tomorrow.
I'm just saying. I'm here every day.
That is very true. I'm sorry. That was a really deep moment. I apologize.
I'm playing around. All right. Thank you so much to everybody for joining again. What a great day it's been. I want to thank Zadara again for staying late with us all and for you guys staying late. We're back here tomorrow at 8:30. Nothing changes. Same gang, same time, same channel. Join us tomorrow at Trader TV Live. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Trader TV Sean. Get the sticky note every single day. Go follow me with Trader TV, Adara as well.
I'm on Twitter now, so follow that up.
She's on Twitter now, so make sure you go find that. Yes, start tagging me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I will. I've liked some of your posts. I'm going to have to start the tags. We're going to get the back and forth going.
All right. And go get that book. I'll sign something for you. All right. Thank you so much for being here. No one ever asked me for my autograph, not even my kids. Why would your kids ask you for your autograph, I guess? All right. Thank you so much. As we go on and on, we got to get out of here. It's 4:34. Thanks, Chris. Thank you, Bears. We're supposed to see everybody tomorrow. Ciao.
Bye.